oku ashiadio egumu watu bwenu mo amandianeze oku ashiadio egumu watu bwenu mo amandianeze onye anumu wanewe mmekọ donya kpachalanyao Kanotumu wasiadinanya borozi kafasiadinime.
I am born.
Imanumu wagamasi manenu waro.
And I'm going to help MAZI NNAMDI KANU to get Biafra. Believe me. Go and mark to the States.
I see mommy Nkechi, a rapper don't tell she. Papa Emeka, don't blind from growing, Peking don't fall, now watch up I'm raw. He said they shake my hand, no fever. Yesterday we laughed, today not us we more. If we don't stop this night where we they share, tell me who go sing for the ones we know they.
She need a voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
No, make we try yo. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts, we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
Oh, make we try, oh.
Back up joints with a trembling, oh. Hey. If we no join, our children go so.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra. My right to agitate. My right. They done this from peaceable now to terrorism.
Breaking news reaching us now. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed. But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. Years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
This is not wicked word. This is not confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. Driver they go. Opposite Udi, by the right hand side, along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver waiting they happen. Driver waiting they happen. Driver tell the Pali boy, see no day for talk. See nothing for talk. If better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. Driver waiting. Driver waiting. This is not wicked word. This is not confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. Driver they go. Opposite Udi, by the right hand side, along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver waiting they happen. Driver waiting they happen.
Oh, hail Biafra.
Our Father who art in heaven, Nnamdi that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and admiration. In the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị anyị anaghị efe arụsị ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị ọbụladị ndị okenye oru abụọ na anọ bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala ha niile so na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe n'ụtụtụ a ehihie abalị n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube onye ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị mma gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ ije obodo ekwensị bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke bịara na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke ka iwe tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezụga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị na nke bere dị ngọzi ka ọ ga-abụ n'ikpeta maazị na Biafra ga-abịa anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị wee gọzie aha nsọ gị kpee isi ala nye gị bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị ise. Morning, all of you. I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabia Mapurumi Henine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, there is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Based on that, the location of the broadcast, contrary to section 196, 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022, in violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. It's not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that they entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality. To conduct a trial is not done anywhere. And you wonder why God trusted you. This was know what justice means. Useless black. You cannot find anybody unless the law is written. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want you to talk to this. Show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try that rubbish. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try that rubbish. Don't try that rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. That's why we have right now. Why we not going to fly? At all cost, it is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. The Fulani approach to the zoo called Nigeria is called the devil's alternative. Fulani, they have this two-pronged approach to the issue of one Nigeria. If they collapse you through banditry, they will overrun you because they believe they have superior weaponry. Right now, and all of them are in this game together. That's number one. If you sue for peace, which idiots like Omahi are doing, if you sue for peace, they will also get what they're looking for because they will plant Ruga in every local government area. The devil's alternative, whichever option you choose, men are going to die. Men will die. It doesn't matter the option you choose. If you wait for them to do things peacefully, which they will never do, they are going to kill you anyway because they'll be Ruga. And you allow them to forcibly take over your land, you are taken over, they will take it by force. And Fulani will plant their people in your local government areas. That in the next 100 years, you'll be hearing about Olo Emirates. And then we'll be like Hausa people. Our great-grandchildren will now ask their parents, what happened? They will tell, oh no, there was somebody called Hope Uzodinma. He was playing politics. He loved Nigeria. There was one called Omahi. He loves Fulani. He used to be our brother. But then we are gone. As a race, we are finished. And I said to these fools, Fulani Caliphate is dealing with you people, but you don't know it. They are like the vulture. Nigeria is pregnant. If Nigeria dies during the pregnancy, they benefit. Nigeria gives birth to their Ruga, which they want, a new Nigeria, which they want, is also to their benefit. The only people aiding and abetting them are these quislings, the fulefus from the East, intellectuals, and sophisticated morons from the West. Juku negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. That Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is. Always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it. And we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And
what we are pursuing is a part of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland, and then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
We, the Biafrans, call the Finnish authorities to release MAZI Simon Ekpa immediately. Our Prime Minister, MAZI Simon Ekpa Joko, has not committed any offense, and therefore we demand for his immediate release. Free MAZI Simon Ekpa and free him now. No hand must stop MAZI Simon Ekpa from exercising his duty as a free man. Free MAZI Simon Ekpa.
For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria, called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They thought by the forceful and the barrels of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem.
Okuwa wasiadio egumu watu wenu mo amandianeze.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected so far, wherever you are connecting from. Whether you are joining me from Biafra land, or you are joining me from Nigeria, you are joining from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand. You are joining us from China, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Palestine, from Israel. Wherever you are joining us from, I welcome you to this amazing program, and I thank you for finding it reasonable to join us. Wherever you are joining from, you are a special guest, and I appreciate you. Either you are watching us on TikTok, or you are joining us via Facebook, or you're joining us on YouTube. Wherever you are joining from, I appreciate you immensely, and I say you are a special guest wherever you are. I appreciate my beloved sister Stella Uzuka, who is there on the comment section, supporting always. She's always here with us on this platform, saying her own independent opinion like every other person. That is why we are here. For those who are joining us for the very first time, and those who are going to come across our video for our very first time, I want you to understand that in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. We don't come here to promote any person or groups. What we are doing here is promote the cause of Biafra. Our main mission in this platform is to present Biafra to the whole world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. We are not here to attack any race or any religion. That is not our mission. We are here for humanity. Regardless your location, regardless your religion, regardless your tribe or your race, as long as you are genuinely seeking for freedom, this platform is for you. Feel free to join us. We are going to stand shoulder to shoulder with you and speak on that freedom, and we are going to get it. But for those of us who operate in this platform, we are Biafrans. My own self in particular, I am an Igbo Biafran. Unapologetically, an Igbo Biafran. That is who I am. That is what I defend. And that is what I stand for. So in this platform, it is open for public opinion. It does not matter what your ideology is. It doesn't matter what your orientation is. It doesn't matter the group you belong. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your tribe. It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us in this platform is humanity. Humanity to the highest level. That is what we stand for. And we speak up boldly that the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria remains Biafra. Remains Biafra. Biafra that we have processed from onset, and the Biafran people came together and conducted a self-referendum. In that self-referendum, we had about almost 60 million Biafrans who came together and say they will be recognized as the United States of Biafra. And the declaration was made on the 29th. More than 60 million people supported that declaration, including myself. I voted. Many of us in this platform voted. If you didn't vote for that very self-referendum, there's no problem. It is your decision. You have the right to vote or not to vote, and you have the right to say yes or no. It is your right. But I'm telling you that more than 50 million, almost 60 million people voted yes and said that the declaration should be made and the country, Biafra, will be recognized as the United States of Biafra. None of us have withdrawn our support to that vote. I can speak for myself. My vote still stands. So in this platform, we present Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That is what we present. When you see the national anthem I always play at the beginning and the ending, you see the unity of the Biafran people. That is the beauty. I do not want to forget that moment. I don't want any Biafran to forget that moment. Whenever you see that national anthem and you're not moved, it's either something is wrong with you or you are chasing something else. If you're a genuine Biafran and you see me play that very national anthem and you are not moved, you are still occupied with your idiocy. You are still occupied with your envy, jealousy, greed, and strife. Sorry, you don't know what you're looking for. I will never forget that moment. It was a moment of glory. A moment of glory. A moment the Biafran people did what people thought they would not do. It doesn't matter what is happening today. It doesn't matter what is happening right, left, center. I know we're going to get there again. We'll get back there. We'll get back to that unity. Our Prime Minister, MAZI Nnnamdi, have cried for that. From detention, he cried out for that and said we should get back to that. We should be whom we are supposed to be as brothers and sisters. Forget about our differences. When we get back home, we will sort it out. There is bound to be disagreements, there's bound to be quarreling, there's bound to be misunderstanding. But washing our dirty nails in the public is something that nobody is going to encourage. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu never did so, and he never encouraged that. MAZI Nnnamdi never did so, and he never encouraged it. Likewise, this time, we must not encourage that. My fellow Biafrans, Nigeria is a failed state. And when we say Nigeria is a failed state, it is not a propaganda. It is not a blackmail. It is not something we are saying to make people happy or to make people angry. We are not saying it out of pride or to showcase that we know better. No, it is a fact. The only thing you need to do is that when you hear us call Nigeria a failed state, or will tell you that Nigeria is a terrorist country, if you disagree with us, please go and make your investigation. And I'm speaking to those who are not Nigerians, because any Nigerian that denies the fact that that contraption is a failed state, I can't help such person, and I don't need to engage in argument with such person. But I'm speaking on behalf of those who are not Nigerians that are watching us from other part of the world. You might not be a Nigerian, and when you see somebody speaking and saying that Nigeria is a failed state, calling it a terrorist country, you'll be surprised. My own country, Biafra, is under occupation by the Nigerian government. We were forced into amalgamation, and we fought our way out. When we saw the light, the Biafran people did not just raise up to make a declaration of Biafra. The Biafrans have tried everything humanly possible to strengthen the cause of Nigeria to make it work. From day one, the Biafran people have been in the front line of trying to make Nigeria work. But each time we make that move, it brings death. It becomes worse. And we are the ones that have to face the backlash. I can begin to mention one after the other, uncountable. On numerous moves that was made to save Nigeria. All the way from Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. From the time that we are chasing the independence, the northern part of Nigeria never agreed. Never agreed for independence. In fact, they said we are not the same. Tafawa Balewa said it openly that we are not the same and we can be the same. Amadu Bello said it that we are not the same and we can be the same. But somehow, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was trying to please the people that came from the area where he was born in Zengeru, thinking that he was dealing with humans. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was in the front line to convince the Hausas, the Fulanis, not the Hausas, sorry, the Fulanis, to allow the independence. They refused and said they don't want to be part of it. Even Awolowo told Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, from what we read in history, that they should pull out, go ahead and declare their own nation and allow the North to be on their own. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe insisted. and went ahead to convince the North about their poor situation. They can't help themselves. In all ramifications, they have nothing. And the British joined also to convince them that if they decide to be on their own, they can't survive on their own. They can't survive in all ramifications. Forget about the fact that now they talk about agriculture. They have nothing, nothing. Including the granite pyramid you hear about, it's all a scam. So at that point in time, it was still a Biafran who was in the front line to create this madness you are seeing today. Having a good thing in his mind, having the brotherly love in his mind, he was trying to help the North. But at the end of the day, you see how it ended. When the independence was granted, Dr. Nnamdi Kanu was not there. Nobody from the South was there. Then contraption called Nigeria was handed over to the Fulanis by the British. I have played a video here over and over where a British man confessed that the British were scared of the intelligence of the Southerners, more especially the Igbos and also the Yorubas. That the British were afraid of the intelligence of the Southerners. They saw us as threat. Because within that period, they have dealt with us, we have gone into deals with them, we have done so many things along with them, and they saw that we are not a pushover in the southern part of Nigeria. That was why during the time of independence, even though we were the ones in the front line, the South was in the front line to seek for independence. Then, when the time came, they gave the independence, handed it over to the Fulani man. And you know what the result came? A ceremonial president, and the power lies in the North. And you saw how the abuse of power continues. And this same agenda of Fulanization came up also. You know, sometimes we forget. It was this same agenda, this same evil agenda that also prompted the, which was led by Nzogu. Chukwuma Nzogu, a man who grew up in the North all his life, even though he's a Biafran. He grew up in the North all his life, served in the North, knows their style and their history. He knows what they can do. He knows their evil. He knows their good and bad. And when he saw where they were going, the young military officers of Nigeria came together and said they cannot fold their hand and watch this evil come up. They wanted to nip that evil on the bud, led by a Biafran, Chukwuma Nzogu, who grew up in Kaduna. He knows their plans. He knows everything. He knows their steps. And he tried to stop it and made that great move with fellow Nigerian soldiers on behalf of Nigeria to save Nigeria. The revolution organized by Chukwuma Nzogu was not for the Biafran people. It was not to create Biafra. It was not to create an Igbo state or Igbo nation. No. It was not to create a southern nation. No. It was to save Nigeria. That revolution that the young officers of Nigeria conducted was later interpreted as a coup by the British, because it wasn't to serve the British purpose. It was not to serve British purpose, but it was to serve the nation, to remove the nation completely from those colonial masters at that time because of the evil they saw. They interpreted that revolution, the very first revolution in Nigeria, led by Chukwuma Nzogu, they interpreted it as a coup. They didn't stop at calling it a coup. They called it an Igbo coup, simply because the officer who was there, who led the revolution, is an Igbo man. They called it an Igbo coup, even though they know that a Yoruba man was among the coup. And there are some people from the Middle Belt in the coup. They call it Igbo coup. A revolution translated Igbo coup. The British used their BBC, the lying BBC, to push this propaganda, and people ran with it. For many years, for more than 50-something years, only just few months ago, a confession came, and they said the so-called celebrated Igbo coup was never an Igbo coup. In fact, the person that made the confession was somebody who participated who participated in the counter coup. They called it a counter coup. And funny enough, nobody in Nigeria talks about that counter. A counter coup where thousands of Igbo military officers were murdered in cold blood. Thousands of professionals, Igbo military officers were murdered in cold blood. Nobody is keeping the record of that. In fact, one of the renowned general in Africa, then the only British general that was somebody who got his general in the field of war, Agironsi, was murdered. Agironsi was murdered. Nobody talks about it. Agironsi is not remembered anywhere. There is no place where a stone is being placed in Nigeria to remember Agironsi. Up to this moment, there is no place, a stone or any monument they make, federal monument to remember Agironsi, an innocent man who was murdered in cold blood, a head of state, by the northern soldiers. They came together. And nobody talks about it. They keep on talking about Igbo coup, Igbo coup. That was never an Igbo coup. For many years, for more than 50-something years. And many people have lost their life because of that war. In that lie, in the midst of that lie, still, an Igbo man came in to calm the situation. We didn't go for vengeance. We have the power, we have the authority, we have the wealth to go for vengeance. We did not go for vengeance. After the pogrom, there was no vengeance. An Igbo man still came in to make peace. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, came into the picture. And he went as far as speaking about the regional government. Regional government, every region, go back to your base how we started. Be on your own side, be on your side. We can have a central government. Meanwhile, let every region rule themselves. An Igbo man took them all the way to Aburi to maintain peace. They refused to listen. They agreed in Aburi, signed the accord, the Aburi Accord. It was signed by Gowon. On getting back to Nigeria, their British slave masters advised them to withdraw from the agreement, and they did. That was the second time an Igbo man went forward to save, not to create Igbo nation, not to create anything. It was to save Nigeria. That move was to save Nigeria. You see, many of them today, they up to today, someone will come and say that Agironsi introduced the unitary system. Agironsi introduced the unitary system. Agironsi introduced the unitary system. And after the pogrom, Dim Odumegwu came to the picture and said, let's go back to regional system. You signed up for that regional system. Did you carry it out? They did not. Instead of abiding by regional system, they continued the program. And our eternal leader said, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to protect my people. And they went to him. When our eternal leader decided to protect his people, to guide his people, after they have withdrawn from the agreement written, they didn't stop at that. They brought war to us. We didn't go to Nigeria to fight. We were in Biafra land, securing ourselves, putting our economy in order, doing things in order. And Nigeria came to war with war. And they fought. And we defended ourselves. Alone, without any support. Nigeria came with the support of all the Arab nations. The support of the British. The support of the Russians. Even United States to an extent. The little Biafra fought for 3 good years. 3 good years. Until our eternal leader have to leave to save life. They came in and they brought in their fake no victor, no vanquish. We know that we are victor, that we are vanquished. We know. They brought in that fake no victor, no vanquish. And General Effiong went in for the agreement and told them that if you do not treat our children well, they are going to rise up. General Effiong warned them. If you don't treat our children well, they are going to rise up. At that moment, they promised the 3R: reintegration, reconstruction, and rehabilitation. Reintegration, reconstruction, and rehabilitation. In these 3 promises, none of them was fulfilled. Up to this moment as we speak, Nigeria did not fulfill any. It's been almost 60 years. They didn't fulfill any. All the things story I've told now are steps that the Biafrans have taken to keep peace in Nigeria, to maintain Nigeria, make sure that it works for every indigenous person. But each time when that moves becomes a backlash, we become an enemy to the people instead of being appreciated. As if that is not enough. Uwazuki came to the picture. You saw how he ended. They attacked him, they betrayed him, they blackmailed him, and he fell out. MAZI NNAMDI KANU came to the picture and still gave them the olive branch. What is the demand of MAZI NNAMDI KANU? Open the seaport in Iguacha. Give us an international airport. Put our roads in order. Simple request, responsibility of a government. Follow it up. That was simple. And we won't have any cause to talk. Simple request. When MAZI NNAMDI KANU came up, they said they don't want separation. It's okay. You do not want separation. Look, put these things in order. The governors came to him. The federal government, through the governors, came to bribe MAZI NNAMDI KANU. They came to offer MAZI NNAMDI KANU bribe and said, MAZI NNAMDI KANU said, no, it is not about me. It is not about my person. It is about my people. The governors came and they said, oh, restructuring. MAZI NNAMDI KANU reminded them, the restructuring you are talking about is what our eternal leader, Dim Odumojuku, went for. And Nigeria refused and brought war. Okay, if you are talking about restructuring, go ahead and bring that restructuring. Let us give it our people. Once they accept it, I have no reason to speak. He told them, go and get restructuring. You will give me something to tell me to leave what I'm doing. He told the governors, go back. You cannot go and engage in a very weak point, with a very weak point. When you are engaging, you have to stand on a very high, with a very great point. You have to stand at a point of cover for you to engage. That they should use the agitation as a check for them to withdraw from the federal government the issue with restructuring. He advised them to go ahead, get it and come back. And then, why do we have to make a noise? What did they do? This is another step MAZI NNAMDI KANU took to safeguard Nigeria. To save Nigeria. It wasn't to save Nigeria and allow it to remain the way it is. But the British wouldn't allow it. The Janjaweed wouldn't allow it. They used their governors. The next thing was Python dance. Python dance, which brought us to the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU we are facing today. Python dance to take his life. In the process, 28 men lost their life in order to save MAZI NNAMDI KANU in his home. 28 men died. Jack also died to save MAZI NNAMDI KANU. 28 lives has to go. MAZI NNAMDI KANU narrowly escaped. That attack took the life of the parents of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the mother and the father. Today they are dead. MAZI NNAMDI KANU did not even have the opportunity to say goodbye to them. They were buried in the same day. Every one of us watched it. I still have the video on my platform. The video of the burial, because we streamed it live. Then I was using my Facebook. You will still see it there. The burial of the parents of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. I streamed it live on my Facebook. King David exploit expose. That is how far we have come. I didn't start yesterday. That is why when some people begin to talk rubbish, I just look at them. I started broadcasting when Facebook was not about money. Facebook wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything. It wasn't when they have not started monetization. Nothing like all this monetized. That wasn't why I came in. We made that move. What did they do? MAZI NNAMDI KANU tried to salvage Nigeria. They brought death to us. They came with Python dance. Thousands lost their life. Up to this moment as we speak, They are still using that. As we speak, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu today is facing persecution in the hand of the government because of that 10th time. The case MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is facing now is all the way from 2015. 2015. That they framed him and say he jumped very to us. See that pattern dance, they came to his house to take his life. In the process, to save MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, 28 men went down. Up to date, nobody has been held accountable. Nobody is saying anything about it. Nobody talks about it. But they are busy in their courts today talking about MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, calling him a terrorist. If MAZI Nnamdi Kanu were to be a terrorist, you think you can come to his house and take the life of 28 men and no soldier will go down? You're a joker. Even the Fulani Janjaweed that you follow, how many of you can attack Fulani Janjaweed and go free? Ordinary bandits that attack, they go, they invade your barracks. You can't do anything. So if MAZI Nnamdi Kanu were to be a terrorist, you think you can come to his house, take the life of 28 men and you go. No single soldier was hurt. No single soldier was hurt. But you think we are that weak, huh? You think we are that weak? Be careful what you wish for. I am speaking to federal government in Nigeria. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. That effort MAZI Nnamdi Kanu made to safeguard Nigeria brought death. Many people died. Many people died. And MAZI Nnamdi Kanu narrowly escaped. And continue innocently and peacefully demanding for referendum, self-determination for his people. They couldn't bear to see him leave. They went to Kenya, kidnapped him against international law, extraordinarily rendition him to Nigeria. And today, in that injustice, they are persecuting MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And within this period of his persecution, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, a brother, came in to salvage the situation and say, no, I will not fold my hand and watch this thing happen. Because already, when they kidnapped MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, they came to their national TV and they spoke in Hausa to celebrate the kidnapping of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. That is all over. They have now captured us. We are now permanently their slave. They never knew that they made their greatest mistake. And Mazi Simon came into the picture. Mazi Simon Ekpa took an extraordinary measure to protect Biafra land under self-defense. And he did a great job. And made sure that the kidnap of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu remains useless in their hand. Mazi Simon came to the picture and gave us hope and faith. Did everything he could. Until he came to a time they activated the global conspiracy through the British. They went through NATO, went through Finland, convinced Finland, and Finland sold their soul and took away our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. And it's been 1 year, more than 1 year now. It's been a year plus. Mazi Simon Ekpa have been taken out of us, thinking that when they take him out and then all will be history. They never knew that the Biafrans have made up their minds on their way forward. Just like MAZI Nnamdi Kanu said, even if it is one Biafran that is remaining, he will continue to fight until Biafra regains freedom. Even if it is only one person remaining, that one person will continue to fight for freedom until we regain our freedom. I just went back to give you this history for you to understand where we are coming from. For those who are not Biafrans or those who have forgotten these issues, I am telling these stories for you to know that we did not just wake up one day and begin to talk about Biafra or announce Biafra or say we are getting out of Nigeria or declaring Biafra. No. It took several steps trying to make things work, but it became obvious. It became very clear and obvious that Nigeria is irredeemable. The designation of Nigeria, you see, they didn't start today. There have been so many series of things happening. The genocide of Christians by Nigerian government didn't start today. It started way back. My own very self, I'm a witness. I have lived in the North. I'm not just saying it, I have lived in the North. So I have first-hand experience what it looks like to be a Christian in the North. This was before the issue of Boko Haram. Boko Haram started just yesterday. Boko Haram started yesterday. But this very persecution, you have seen many testimony coming from pastors from the North, people who conducted burial, mass burial in 2,000, but 1,000 plus people, 2,000 people, and more than, in different kinds of riot. Almost all the states in the North have always have riot. And when you hear about all this riot, it's attack against the Christians. Kaduna riot, Yola riot, Jos riot, Bauchi riot, Sokoto riot. Any place you hear of a riot, then they call it riot. Then it has not been to this level of terrorism. They call it riot. They just that's what the name that was used that time. They call it a riot. But in all this riot, in each one, you will count dead bodies of Christians in thousands. In every one of them, you count dead bodies of Christians. And Nigeria will move on as if nothing happened. We have eyewitness accounts and testimonies from Biafran people who came back from the North empty-handed. In fact, who they were lucky to come back with their life and swear never to go back again. But today, look at where we are. Look at where we are today. They expect us to continue to play the same game, to continue to play the same mind game, continue to beg, continue to continue. I thank Chukwu Okike for the level we have gotten today, that there is no going back. And the message is clear. Now that the whole world is focused on the Zoological Republic, I know they are bribing. Their bribery is not strange. They are bribing everybody they can bribe. They are pushing all the kind of buttons they can push. But I bet you, it cannot hold water. It doesn't matter what they do. When the appointed time have come, there's nothing you can do. When the appointed time has come, there is nothing you can do. We have waited for too long for this moment. The Biafran people have waited for too long for this moment. And now that we are here, no man born of a woman will run ahead of Chukwu Okike. Chukwu Okike leads and everything fall behind him. And this is his battle. Not just us. That was why MAZI NNAMDI KANU said that the Biafra will come in such a way that no human being will take the glory. And that is what we are seeing. All we need to do today as Biafrans is to key in into the situation. We will continue to demand for the release of our leaders by all means necessary. We will continue to give voice to our leaders, MAZI NNAMDI KANU and MAZI Simon Ekpa. They will continue to speak through us every blessed day. You can't silence them. MAZI NNAMDI KANU will continue to speak through every one of us. That is why when you join this platform, share the program. It is not for me personally. It is not for you personally. It is for our voice collectively to be heard. You don't know who is going to come across the video. Maybe the one you share is the one people are going to come across. Maybe the one I share is the one people. Share the video when you come. You give a thumbs up and you share. It takes only one man to press that button and the whole thing will turn around. You see what Donald Trump is doing today? Only a tweet of Donald Trump. The whole world is talking about genocide of Christians in Nigeria. A tweet. Only a tweet. The whole world caught on fire. They paid attention. It takes only one man to make that change. The same way you had that tweet, we are drawing close to a time one man is going to mention Biafra. That word they don't want to mention, they are going to mention it, but it still lies on you, it lies on me. It depends on us. It depends on what we do today. We have every single opportunity to make that word they don't want to mention come out of their mouth. Chukwu Okike is going to force that word to come out of the mouth. And you and I are going to do our own part. We must do our own part. Focus. Focus. Don't get distracted. With the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU and the case of our Prime Minister, MAZI Simon Ekpa, they cannot shy away from the reality of Biafra as the only remedy to the failed state called Nigeria. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, today we have come to this program, and the title of the topic we are discussing today says, Breaking. It's a breaking news. We saw it yesterday. Breaking news yesterday. Yesterday, breaking news. MAZI NNAMDI KANU strike back. File motion to stop court judgment. November 28th. Nigeria in panic. Breaking. Nnamdi Kanu strike back. Files motion to stop court judgment. November 20th. Nigeria in panic. This news came yesterday after our morning program. I spoke about it in the evening time, and I felt we still have to talk about it today. That our supreme leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, have filed a motion in the court. He filed a motion in the court to stop the judgment that is coming on the 20th. That was what we saw. And I felt it is something to pay attention to. We don't have to ignore it. Because when we talk of bringing the attention of the world, when we say we will not miss any opportunity, this is the time. This is the time. That was yesterday. After our morning program, breaking, Nnamdi Kanu files application at appeal court seeking stay of proceedings in trial by Justice Omotosho. MAZI NNAMDI KANU have filed appeal court seeking stay of proceedings. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is taking every single step he has to take to get justice. In as much as we know that Nigeria is full of injustice, just like MAZI NNAMDI KANU called them, that what they have in Nigeria is a shrine of injustice, a temple of injustice. That is what they have in Nigeria. But in the midst of that shrine of injustice, every single step MAZI NNAMDI KANU is taking is to bring the attention of the world to what is happening. That is why we have to join him to speak up about this and make it go viral. It is our duty to join MAZI NNAMDI KANU. That is why I say MAZI NNAMDI KANU have a voice in me. He has a voice in you. How does he have that voice? Whatever project he puts forward, whatever he says, we have to push it out and let it go viral. Let ears hear it. Ears in the House of Commons, in the House of Assembly, across the world, in all parts of the world, wherever. In the United States, in Canada, in Australia, even in UK, there are sensible people there. There are people who have conscience. In the United Kingdom, there are still men of conscience out there. In other parts of the world, we push these informations out. This is not like the days of Ken Saro-Wiwa, when the use of the internet is not as it is today, when the social media is not as viable as it is today. Nigeria have taken the life of so many innocent people. In their fake judgment, Nigeria has unjustly taken the life of so many people. And MAZI NNAMDI KANU say, I will be the end. And he's definitely going to be the end. After this case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, they will never try to push their injustice on any Biafra anymore. Nnamdi Kanu application at appeal court seeking stay of proceedings in trial by Justice Omotosho. And he gave his reasons. He gave his reasons why he is putting in for that stay of execution. According to the call filings Sahara reporters obtained from Barrister Aloy Ejimako, special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained IPOB leader, filed the application in person, praying the appeal court to stop Justice Omotosho from delivering judgment on his case on November 20th, 2025 as scheduled. That is the motion he filed. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, on Wednesday, November 12, 2025, filed a motion on notice before the Court of Appeal in Abuja, seeking a stay of further proceedings in his trial by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja. According to the court filing, Sahara reporters obtained from Barrister Aloy Jimako, special counsel to MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the detained IPOB leader filed the application in person, praying the court to stop Justice Omotosho from delivering judgment on his case on November 20th, 2025 as scheduled. We are going to see what is going to be the outcome of this very motion. We know Nigeria is a lawless state. We are not hoping for anything positive to come, but we are going to follow all proceedings. We are going to exhaust every legal means that we have, in as much as we are dealing with an illegal country. He prayed for an order staying the proceedings of the trial court in case number FHC ABJ CR 583-2015. Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Nnamdi Kanu, currently pending before Justice James K. Omotosho, pending the hearing and determination of the appeal pending against the decision in the case, particularly on its decision on the number case submission, its refusal to determine its jurisdiction. These are the reasons MAZI NNAMDI KANU gave why there has to be that stay of proceedings. Because of the decision of the court. Its decision on the number case submission, its refusal to determine its jurisdiction and the validity of the court under which the appellant is being tried. You know, MAZI NNAMDI KANU was always saying, tell me the law under which you are trying me. He asked that question over and over in the court. It was not answered. He placed in a motion. It was not responded to. Only what they were doing is to push him to enter trial. And MAZI NNAMDI KANU say, after looking through my case, there is no judgment there. And I want to know, under which law are you trying me? A simple question. And he said, as soon as you tell me the law under which you're trying me, I will enter the dock and defend myself. In a court where there are senior advocates, about 5 of them, in the prosecuting counsel, you have the judge, you have the friends of the court. None of them was able to tell MAZI NNAMDI KANU the law under which he is being tried. Another one is its foreclosure of the appellant right to defend the case by fielding witnesses. You see how they cage everything. How they cage everything. So these are the complaints MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Because of this, Justice Omotosho has to be stopped from the proceeding. These are the hurdles he has to face. First of all, before ever he will talk about judgment. You have to cross these hurdles. But he jumped them and he's going to judgment. And MAZI NNAMDI KANU filed the motion to the court. In a sane society where justice is the order of the day, Justice Omotosho has no right to pronounce any judgment on MAZI NNAMDI KANU until he has sorted out these very issues. Its decision on no case submission, he has not given a reason why he went down on that no case submission by MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Its refusal to determine the jurisdiction of the court has not yet been determined, whether the court have jurisdiction to try him first or not. And still, you have to go there. Explain to us if you have jurisdiction to try him first of all. Tell us, under which law are you even trying MAZI NNAMDI KANU? These are simple questions that need to be answered before you can be able to get through and say, okay, now you've got to pass judgment. These are the simple questions, motions that were raised by MAZI NNAMDI KANU, and he ignored them. You see the abuse of law and order in Nigeria. You see the injustice, very, very open. They are doing it boldly without care. They don't care how you feel. They don't care what you want to say. They don't care how you feel. They abuse MAZI Nnamdi Kanu emotionally. They abuse him physically on different angles. And the world sit back and watch. The world sit back and watch. On his grounds for application, Kanu said that in spite of the jurisdictional question raised before the Federal High Court, the trial court refused to rule on them. You can imagine. They refuse, with all these motions raised, they refuse to rule on them. And they want to go ahead to pronounce judgment. The trial court refused to evaluate the evidence of the prosecution witnesses vice versa. The cross-examination questions to determine whether the evidence was discredited under cross-examination. He further stated, according to him, though the appellant filed list of witnesses to be called in defense of the case and indicated that the appellant defense would come up and the appellant filed the witnesses, immediately the court determines the jurisdiction and the validity of the court. The trial court refused and held that the decision would only be given on the objection during judgment. Imagine. They gave him no response. They did not respond to every motion he has read. They never said until they say they're going to talk about it on the judgment. Where does that happen? Simply because they have already concluded on what they want to do. Simply because they want to do what they want. It doesn't matter whether you say something or you don't say something. And MAZI Nnamdi Kanu knows them very well. I remember what Showore said. Showore said that he doesn't write statements in the court anymore. He doesn't write in the statement when he goes to the police. He doesn't write a statement. That it doesn't matter what you write or what you do. Even when you take them to court, it doesn't matter. That Nigeria will do what they want to do. The judges belong to them. Everything belongs to them. They can just manipulate whatever they want to manipulate and do it. Go ahead with it. And that is what you are seeing in the case of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu right now. Kanu noted the trial court, while refusing to rule on objection, foreclosed the appellant right to defend erroneous allegation leveled against the appellant. The trial court has adjourned the matter for judgment on the 20th of November 2025. He stressed that if the application is not granted, the appellant may be unlawfully convicted without being afforded the opportunity of knowing the validity of the court, the jurisdiction of the trial court, and offering defense on the merit. This is how they spread their injustice. This is exactly how they deny MAZI Nnamdi Kanu his right to defense. Every single motion he has do, they push it away. They don't want to talk about it. They never respond to it. They ignore it, and they're heading straight away to their judgment. Imagine, where do you see that? And how can you call this justice? That is why MAZI Nnamdi Kanu call Nigerian court of law a shrine of injustice. A shrine of injustice. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu maintained, further proceeding on the matter, we stultify the appellant right of appeal and any appellate decision fit accomplished. The trial court and the appellant will not be prejudiced if the application is granted. The case having been prolonged since the year 2015, only to commence before the instance court sometime in this year 2025. He noted that it is in the interest of justice to grant his application and allow the matter to be taken on merit. In a sane country, the case of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu cannot continue without you responding to his concern. In a sane society, there is no way you can continue hearing that case in a sane society, there is no way you can continue to hear that case until you address the motion that was raised by MAZI NNAMDI KANU. But we know that Nigeria is not a sane society. Nigeria is not a country, has never been. Nigeria is not a country, has never been, and that is why we speak the way we speak, and that is why we decided to get out of the zoo by all means necessary. And I bet you nothing is going to stop us from living that zoological republic. Nothing on the planet Earth will stop us. Our mind is made up. We are living and we are living. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter the angle you come from. We have left the zoological republic and there is no going back. For a very long time, Biafrans have tried everything they could to make things worse, to make things better. But the more we try, the more Nigeria proves that it is irredeemable. The more we try, the more Nigeria proves that it's irredeemable. So my fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, we are here today in this airwave burning with things that matter to us. On the breaking news coming from MAZI NNAMDI KANU, he has filed a powerful motion in court to stop the so-called judgment scheduled for November 20th. MAZI NNAMDI KANU filed a very powerful motion that I just read out to stop the so-called judgment scheduled for November 20th. Yes, you had the right. You had it right. Why Nigeria political class hoped to silence him through a compromised judiciary. The Nigerian political class, more especially of the Southeast extraction, hoped to silence MAZI NNAMDI KANU through a compromised judiciary. The lion of Biafra roared again. And this time, the world is watching. This very time, the world is watching. More especially because of the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. That designation of Nigeria has changed everything. It can never be business as usual. That is why I'm saying that we, the Biafran, have to seize the opportunity. Speak in all your platform and present these issues before the whole world. You never can tell who will come across your message. The judicial rascality in Nigeria is too much. We can't be silent. MAZI NNAMDI KANU have taken a bold step to stop the so-called scheduled judgment, an illegal process. They followed everything about the case of MAZI NNAMDI has always been illegal. These are people who have disobeyed the court order at every instant. MAZI NNAMDI KANU have won his case in 5 courts, 2 international and 3 local. And the federal government of Nigeria did not obey anyone. And now they are going further to pass their own judgment after refusing to address the motions raised by MAZI NNAMDI KANU. This motion, last motion of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, shocked the court. Let us begin with the fact. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the retained leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, through his legal team, filed that very motion to halt anticipated judgments set for November 2025. Why? Because this judgment is being rushed. The judgment is being rushed. No normal procedure is taken. Political influence is there. Illegally orchestrated under a system that has violated every constitutional principle since his extradition and rendition from Kenya. This very motion of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu sends a clear message. You cannot give a fair judgment built on illegality. That is a clear message that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is sending, that every one of us in our platform should join him and push this very information out there. You cannot give a fair judgment built on illegality. It's not done anywhere. The defense team argued no court can sit in judgment over an abduction and torture victim, while the same government remains in contempt of international law. How does it work? How does it work? The motion of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu just passed is not just legal, it is very, very symbolic. This motion that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu put in is not just legal, it is very, very symbolic. It represents a direct resistance to state-sponsored judicial manipulation. You know, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu always say it, that their orchestrated global conspiracy stops with him. He always said, even in their court, he told them it stops with him. And this motion he's passed down, this motion he sent to them is speaking loud. It represents a direct resistance to state-sponsored judicial manipulation. It demands the rule of law must prevail before any ruling can be legitimate. Simple. The rule of law must prevail before any ruling can be legitimate. We are talking about a court of law. You know, when we say Nigeria is a lawless place, people don't understand. They think we are saying it out of emotion or because we are angry. No. It is a fact. And these facts are before you every day, except you are not following things that are happening in this volatile republic. And I pray that as this CPC designation is there, the whole world is paying attention. The whole world is paying attention. Now let's connect the dots. The timing of this motion and the CPC designation of Nigeria are no coincidence. This motion of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, you see, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is a smart person. It's not. That is why, if you are a leader, you must be smart and you must have a listening ear. Your inner mind has to be open at all times to listen and know when to do. You have to be timely at anything, everything. This very motion MAZI Nnamdi Kanu put in is going to draw more international attention to his case. The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, CPC, has once again placed Nigeria under country of particular concern for systemic religious persecution, human rights violation, and government complicity in genocide. Human rights violation and government complicity. What is happening to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu today is human rights violation spelled out in ABC. What is happening to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is human rights violation spelled out in ABC. So when we are talking about this, Nigeria being a country of particular concern, let the international attention be drawn. Let them see a typical example of human rights violation in the case of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. A typical example. The injustice of Nigeria is so smelly and cannot be hidden. It is very clear, even to the deaf and dumb. They can see it in the case of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. That is why this motion he filed is very timely. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the action the government of Nigeria takes. It doesn't matter what their court says. That motion speaks volume. And I'm happy. When I saw that motion, I was happy. More than happy. This designation means Nigerian atrocities, including what is happening to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, are now on the radar of the United States Congress. They can't escape it. Nigeria being designated as a country of particular concern. This designation of Nigeria means Nigerian atrocities, including what is happening to MAZI NNAMDI KANU today, are now on the radar of the United States Congress, the State Department, and international human rights courts. They are watching closely on what is happening in the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU inside this country of particular concern. That is why we have to blow this very trumpet as loud as we can. Arnold advised us to talk more, speak more, share this platform, share the video to all platforms. You can cut it out and share. You never can tell who is going to come out and hear. You never can tell who will hear from you. Don't just sit and watch. While you are watching, you will like the program and you share. It will help people to get the information. I understand that there's an attack on our platform. I understand there's an attack. That doesn't matter. Do your own part and let it be. Only Chukwu Okukabiyama knows how he's going to send the message across. But we must do our own part. I have chosen my part and I will continue to do it. It is also signal possible sanction, what we are saying. We are seeing a possible sanction coming very, very close. Visa restriction is loaded. Armed embargo is loaded on officials found complicit in such abuses. We know them, every one of them. They are known by the United States. They can continue to push their propaganda and blackmail. But I bet you they cannot get away with their plans against MAZI NNAMDI KANU. It's not going to work. So when MAZI NNAMDI KANU files a motion to stop judgment, it is not just a court document. It is a legal thunderbolt, timed with international awareness. He's effectively saying, let the world see how Nigerian lawlessness has gone. That is what MAZI NNAMDI KANU is saying. And being that he's inside, it is you and I that will make that his voice to go far. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? MAZI NNAMDI KANU did not just file a motion to stop judgment. Get it clear. He did not just file a motion to stop judgment. It is not just a court document. It is a legal thunderbolt, timed with international awareness. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is effectively saying, let the world see how Nigerian lawlessness has gone. Go and read that motion and you will understand. That is why we have to carry it and run with it. Let the deaf and dumb hear it. Let the international communities hear it. Let the State Department take record that a country of particular concern is continuing on their illegality and the inhuman treatment and abuse of human rights to the highest level. This moment matters a lot. It matters a lot. This moment we are in, it matters a lot. This moment matters a lot. If you think it doesn't matter, think again. This moment we are in matters a lot. And wherever you are as a Biafran, wherever you are as a Biafran, you must sit up and know that we are in a very critical moment. We are in a very, very critical moment. This moment matters a lot. This motion could redefine the legal narrative of the Biafran struggle. In case you don't know, this motion of MAZI NNAMDI KANU could redefine the legal narrative of the Biafran struggle. For years, Nigeria has tried to make it look like MAZI NNAMDI KANU trial is a national issue. But now, it is a global issue. The trial of MAZI NNAMDI KANU is a global issue, not a national issue anymore. Every step Nigeria takes will be monitored by international observers. every court proceeding will be scrutinized under the CPC lens. Every abuse in DSS custody will be documented for possible sanctions. In the court of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, international observers are there. They are coming in. They are coming in. And Nigeria cannot escape it this time around. When we talk about the opportunity of this time, the opportunity we have this time, we can't afford to miss it. That is why I preached a message that I talked about focus. Every one of us must remain focused. Give a voice to MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Give a voice to MAZI Simon Ekpa. Don't let their voice go down. Even though they are behind bar, they have a voice inside you. Everything they need to say, they have said it for us. It is for us to regurgitate it over and over again for people to hear. This is the moment when truth confronts tyranny. A legal move that could expose the entire facade of Nigerian judicial system to the whole world. That is what we are seeing. And I bet you Abuja is panicking. They can pretend for all I care. Abuja is panicking as we speak. They are in panic. Make no mistake. There is panic in Abuja right now as we speak. The power circle that once believed they could dictate outcome now face a collapsing credibility crisis. For a long time, they have been taking decisions. They can do anything and get away with it. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not in the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Diplomatic chatter is rising. Embassies are at alert. Reports are being sent to Washington, Brussels, and London. Don't think that Biafrans are folding their hands. Don't think that Biafrans are folding their hands. We cannot allow this to happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And the message is clear. Nigerian justice system is on trial, not Nnamdi Kanu. Do you hear that? Nigerian justice system is on trial before the whole world, not MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Not MAZI NNAMDI KANU. That is one thing some people fail to understand. And we are going to watch them destroy themselves. Even those within the judiciary now whisper, this case is too hot to handle. They whisper to themselves, this case is too hot to handle. Because when the CPC designation meets international law violation, Nigerian global reputation burns in full view. You see why we must not keep silent. You see why you must use your platform to give a voice to MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Use your voice to give a voice to MAZI Simon Ekpa. This is why. When the CPC designation meets international law violation, Nigerian global reputation burns in full view of the whole world. Everybody will see it clearly. It will no longer be Biafrans talking or Biafrans speaking or Biafrans accusing. No. We must stand united now than ever. We, the Biafran people, must stand together now than ever. My beloved Biafran people, brothers and sisters across the world, this is not just the time to sleep. This is not the time to sleep at all. Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, friends of Biafrans, this is not the time to sleep. This is not the time for gossip or distraction. This is not the time for gossip or distraction. This is the time to intensify global awareness. This is the time to intensify global awareness to the highest level. Every one of us must be part of. You see, when MAZI Simon Ekpa told us about radical evangelism, this is the time to engage in that radical evangelism. If you can walk with your leg and go to offices, go. If you can write letters, write. If you can make brokers, make. If you can share, share. Anyone you can do globally. If you can protest, go for mass protest, go. If you can do a one-man protest in front of an embassy or anywhere, go ahead and do it. This is the time. It's not the time to sit idle. Nobody should sit idle. Nobody. You must not sit idle. Use your voice, online and offline. Tag international media. Every international media you know, tag them with this information. The CNN, the BBC, the Al Jazeera, all of them, tag them. Anyone you know you can see. Spread the news across all platforms. What is the news? Nnamdi Kanu file motion to halt illegal judgment. Type it on the comment section. Nnamdi Kanu file motion to halt illegal judgment. Make it a hashtag to go viral. Let the whole world be aware and pay attention and expose the injustice in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu file motion to halt illegal judgment. Let that message go viral. This is the way we can give a voice to our spirit, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, not just to sit back and watch, not just to be an observer. We need to engage. We need to be part of it. We need to be in the front line, engage in the warfare and win it. Let the world see the courage of a man who refuses to bow. Let them hear the cry of the people demanding freedom through justice, not war. The voice of the people demanding freedom through justice, not war. That is who we are. Nigeria is a failed state. Nigeria is a failed state. And they can never succeed in their propaganda and their blackmail. They will never, ever, ever succeed. It doesn't matter how they try. All they do in their media is propaganda, blackmail. They blackmail everybody. When you come and you speak the truth, they blackmail you. They look for something else and say. You will say A, they will go and translate your A to be B. A country that is so confused, full of lie and deceit. MAZI NNAMDI KANU must continue to speak through us. MAZI Simon Ekpa must continue to speak through us. We must not allow their voice to be silenced. You know that the only voice they have is us. The Nigerian media is completely and absolutely compromised. You cannot get anything good out of Nigerian media. Don't even go there. They manipulate your statement, they push it. Nigerian government use them, including social media these days. They have content creators that they pay. Nigerian government buy off content creators who are online, spilling lies, telling stories that doesn't add up. There are thousands of them, online and offline, spilling lies. And we see them every day. This designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern is something that we must pay attention to. And we are also calling on the United States that the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria remains Biafra. Biafra remains the only remedy. There is nothing, there's no two ways about it. Biafra remains the only remedy. The only remedy. It is not a selfish request. All we are saying is leave and let's leave. Let every region be on their own. The Arewa people can practice their caliphate in the north. The Yoruba Republic can be in the southwest and practice their monarchical system. And the Biafrans will be with their secular system and be there for themselves. The Middle Belt can practice whatever they deem fit for them. This is all we ask. the time bomb called Nigeria is about to explode. And the world cannot sit back and continue to watch. They can't sit back and continue to watch. Just as one of the lawmakers in the United States confirmed, a lawmaker in the United States confirmed that when it happened in Rwanda, they sat back and they were watching until it was too late, only to come and write history of Rwanda. Even in Sudan, they sat back and watched until it was too late, only to come and write history. In Kosovo, they sat and they were watching, and people lost their life, only to come and write history. In Biafra Civil War, they sat back and they watched. Genocide happened. They did nothing, only to come back to write history. Today, another one is about to happen in Nigeria. Another one is about to happen, and the world is watching. And I thank God that that lawmaker said that this time they cannot sit back and watch. They cannot sit back and watch. It doesn't matter the propaganda of Nigerian government. It doesn't matter their lies that they are pushing right, left, and center. It will never work. It will never, ever, ever work. They will never succeed. We are here. We are here to expose all their lies, all the propaganda. Every lie they are pushing right, left, and center, we are here to expose them. We will make sure that it doesn't see the daylight. They persecute MAZI NNAMDI KANU, an innocent man who has given his life for his own people. What is MAZI NNAMDI KANU asking for? Freedom for everybody. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is not even, his pursuit of freedom is not just for Biafran people, not just for Igbo people, it is for everybody, for humanity. In fact, he is fighting for every region. That was why a student union leader that is not even a Christian, not even a Biafran, is today making a case for MAZI NNAMDI KANU. A student union leader is in the front line demanding for the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. A student union leader. He's the one in the front line asking the government to free MAZI NNAMDI KANU. And I want us to share that video. Let's hear the account that guy has to give about MAZI NNAMDI KANU for you to understand.
National Association of Nigerian Students, right? He is the president of that association, and his name is Atiku Isa Abubakar. That name sounds familiar, but they are different. I mean, don't confuse that with the former vice president. This one is, there's an Isa there, at least as a defining quality. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Now, so today we will be talking about the Nnamdi Kanu saga that's going on. The judgment has been set by the Federal High Court for 20th of November. That will be like Tuesday, right? Tuesday next week. And is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, all right. So what exactly do we expect to find? Now, the last time you came here, it was concerning the President of the Senate and Natasha saga. Right now, it's the Nnamdi Kanu saga. And we just heard from the proceedings that occurred at the court the last time Nnamdi Kanu was in court, that judgment's been set for 20th of November. Let's proceed from there. What's your I know as a pressure group, as a comrade, as a union leader, as a students leader, how do you see that?
The court, and let me say, most of the judges are no longer held in high esteem again.
Why?
And, the judge which is handling this particular case,
yeah,
according to, because I've been to the Federal High Court,
yeah,
I think he presides in Court 8, and most of the lawyers there, what they have, I heard them saying that he's government judge. According to them, Though
like allegedly.
Yes. That what they mean by government judge is that whatever his rulings are not based on law and evidence, but whatever he is directed, that is the judgment he gives. And that is very bad for us as a people. People usually say that the judiciary
do you believe it? Is that not hearsay?
It's not just hearsay, and he has demonstrated that several times.
All right, let's hear
like when PDP went to court regarding their convention, this is the internal party affairs. He gave the judgment halting the convention that's supposed to hold 15th, 16th of this month. And that's why, because Wiki has an interest. So whatever judgment he will pass is usually dependent on the interest of Wiki, who is considered by most Nigerians as the Chief Justice of the Federation, and by extension, he's even more powerful than the Chief Justice of the Federation, that he owns the judiciary.
This particular judge?
No, you know,
okay,
Wiki owns the judiciary.
Okay.
Yes, he decides what happened. You know, that's why when politicians have cases in court, they run to Wiki, because he has the capacity to call a judge and direct any judge. This is how you should give the ruling. The only thing the judge needs to do is to sit down now and see how we're able to coin that to fit in to what Wiki wants. So with that, having said that, Omotosho is handling the case. Will definitely give whatever judgment that the federal government wants. It's not going to be based on law and evidence. It is going to be based on whatever the federal government wants. So we are not talking about going to court and then see. You see, that's why these days people don't even have interest in going to the court again, because this is according to lawyers and lawyers that judgments are usually bought. I met a senior citizen in this country, and after he lost the election, he said that actually he knew he was going to lose, that the money the judge said he should bring, he couldn't bring, and the opponent gave the judge that money. So he now told me the amount of money you need to pay for, depending on the position. For House of Rep, he told me the amount. Senate, he told me the amount. Governor told me the amount. No, this one is, and this one was confirmed to me again by a national chairman of one of the leading political parties. I just don't want to mention him. A friend of the president told me that again, that when there was something and we needed something to be done, say that you know, I have cases, and these cases we need to pay. And so when he said we need to pay, I said, okay, that means what this other senior citizen was telling me. So if this one that is even close to the president would tell me that they need to pay money to judges, all these judgments are bought.
So it's cash for judgment.
It's cash for judgment. You don't need to. That's why. Another.
All right. Bottom line, the what you're saying, the insinuation, if I follow what you have said, is that you don't believe in whatever judgment is going to proceed from the court on the 20th.
No, I don't believe. That's why the position we have taken as a union, in my capacity as the national president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, is to appeal to President Tinubu to discontinue the case, because there's nothing good, there's no justice that can come from the court, especially when these judges, they want handling the case.
Well, I think I read somewhere where somebody, a special assistant, is he a special assistant on community engagement for the Southeast? Somebody, Chioma Weasley, if I remember correctly, said Mr. President is not likely, he's not going to intervene because it's a matter in court and he's someone who believes in the rule of law, and so he would not want to interfere with the court proceedings. Even if he's going to come in at all, the court has to do its duty.
That position is not correct.
Why?
Because Igboho was going to court. The federal government discontinued the case. Mieti Allah, the federal government discontinued the case. Why is Nnamdi Kanu's case different? Is it because he's an Igbo man? So, if the president has the power to direct the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue the case,
And so
it is within his prerogative. It has nothing to do with. It's like you having a case against somebody. Say, just go to the court and say, I'm no longer interested in the case again. The court will discontinue now. So there's nothing in the person writing that. I don't know the person. You know, there are some persons in the southeast.
That is how they project themselves. They say that the president is a lawful person. He will not interject in a law court. He will not intercept the law. He allows the law to take its course. But this same president discontinued a case for Igbo.
Okay.
Discontinued a case for Mieti Allah leader.
Hey.
But when it comes to MAZI NNAMDI, they say, "Oh, he's a man of order. A man, he cannot interject. He cannot come into the law. He's a man who respects the rule of law." This guy has just thrown into their face now. They lie, they push all the time. Mad people everywhere.
We know that the Nnamdi Kanu being released will not be business as usual again, because the crimes they perpetrate and the positions they currently occupy, they know that Nnamdi Kanu is the only person in the entire southeast that has control, that has the support of all the Igbos.
Absolutely.
No any other person alive
this
today.
person speaking is not just someone from the southeast. This is someone who works with Mr. President as a special assistant on community engagement.
You can see that he's already biased. He's trying to see that he doesn't know he doesn't know the position of the president, whether the president
is not really the president. Shouldn't he know?
No, most of this, let me tell you this, most of these special assistants don't even see the president for a whole year. They are just there receiving salary. They are not advising anything. They are not assisting anything. They don't even have a role.
Well, Malam Atiku Isa Abubakar, have you seen your prophet before?
Which prophet are you talking about?
The prophet of your religion.
No.
Have you seen it? But do you believe in his beliefs?
100%.
I'm trying to say that you don't necessarily have to see your leader to be able to understand and believe in what he believes in.
These people are very funny.
Which points did they make now? I don't understand.
I don't know. I can't understand. I don't know the point where they make.
Now, China, oh my God.
My brother, you're welcome, Jare.
Morning, brother. Morning, brother. Choose Goku Nigeria. Oku Mari. Now, journalists be this one when they blab, blah blah. It's just a blab. We question no make sense. The man they bossing bubble. This guy is bossing his bubble. He's not even a champ. He tell him because, like you said, when it comes to Igbo, they intervene to discontinue. On the other hand, they will say they will not interfere with the judiciary. Let them play. So the double standard is just mind blowing, and they don't call them to order. Like this journalist, I hope, I don't know if he's journalist, but he's the interviewer. Well, he should be able to say something. So why are you saying they said that the law should take its course? But on the other hand, with the Mayor Tiala, with Sunday Igboho, and with others, the law will not take its course. He will step in and discontinue it. It's incredible. And I watched this thing yesterday, as a matter of fact. So the notion that any Igbo governor or Igbo businessman is just rubbish. Yes, it's true that they do that. They don't want him out. Even Wike doesn't. But at the same time, he's the president that has
the power does not lie in them. The power lies in the president.
Exactly. So nobody should try and exonerate Tinubu, because all this whole thing Wike is doing, like he's describing Wike as a man with so much power. That power is the power that Tinubu gave to him, and Wike know it. That's why I said that Wike, one thing with Wike is that he's just a sycophant of the highest order. The guy I detest Wike so badly. He they do gra. Other gra is simply because of the power that one man, if Tinubu can remove him just like that, and if he remove him, let's say Tinubu say now, okay, I replace you, Wike is done, he's finished, he will run out of the country. I'm telling you the gospel truth, because he's so hated because of his evil, and there will be no protection with all his money.
All the money, he will not be protected.
Well, the only thing is that if he go to a place where maybe he can seek asylum, but this guy we cannot step foot in the United States as we speak now because he's among those who have been committing heinous crime in Nigeria.
If he goes abroad, ICC will pick him. Any country he enters, they will pick him.
100%, and he's coming. Even Tinubu is coming to a point now where he will be dragged to ICC. He will be sent to The Hague, and there go die put because all the crime that has taken place under Tinubu, he looked away. The bug stops in his own table, so he will not. He can never be, exonerated. And it's just incredible that all these people. The problem of Nigeria is so vast. Sometimes it's hard to really sum it up. Now the journalist yesterday, Rufai, they were asking somebody who was talking about Christian genocide, and he said, "What is the solution?" Well, the solution is that everybody should be talking about.
I still have that video. We will discuss that video. We will discuss that very interview because it's
everybody should be, including the journalists, if they believe in fair play. If people believe in the politicians, if they believe in fair play, then the what everybody should be talking about, singing about, is the abbreviation of or the abolition of the Sharia law, the blasphemy law. Everybody should be because you can't. How on earth can you not understand that it's not normal to have blasphemy law in Nigerian constitution? It's not normal. It should not be acceptable to anybody because Nigeria is a secular state. Therefore, you cannot go and put Christian law, ecclesiastical law, or Sharia law. It doesn't make sense. So that is the motion that Ted Cruz has raised. One would expect everybody to be talking about it. That should be the subject matter on everybody's lips now as we speak. I know without a doubt that this Janjaweed, this caliphate, they will never accept it for it to be wiped out of the constitution. They will not accept. But that is where the rubber will meet the rope, because it's not supposed to be there. It was criminally infused into the constitution. So you see that they remove it, abolish it, so that everybody can, play on equal playing field, or then you have your country. People go their separate ways. So that is a great move by Ted Cruz. I'm just surprised that people are not talking about it. That should be the conversation in everyone's lip right now. Remove the Sharia law in Nigerian constitution, because that is hypocrisy of the highest order. How can you have such unequal, treatment for the people? Christians doesn't have their own law in it. What is this is secular, meaning that no religion should have precedence over the other, but they put their own there, and it was not there. Obasanjo, during his time, they put it there, they twist his arm, they put it there. So to settle the problem of Nigeria is going back to the originality, the stand that the Nigeria constitution was made as secular. Simple as that. If not, then so it's so far because it's like about a week now too that they begin to push on this, to completely remove any religious law in Nigerian constitution. That is how it was from the beginning. But up to now, people are not. I expect that is what everybody should be talking about. Because quite frankly, that is where
Nigeria now they gave them script already. Don't talk about that. Leave it so that it will die off.
Exactly. To die natural, just die off like that. And it's incredible. Yeah, the country, the people have a short memory. I've never seen anything like that. One of our brother, was he yesterday also, was talking about this memory lab. After about 1 week now, they want it to just die down. Everything just died down. And meanwhile, since about 2 weeks now, Tinubu and his government has not shown any effort, no move to show that they are ready to, if you know what I mean. Because as we speak today, Gumi is still roaming about, promoting terrorists, making case for them as we speak. And Tinubu has not even make one move to even show that you mean business, that you are not a terrorist,
If you
that
mean
you
business,
don't.
the very first person to arrest is Gumi.
Exactly. Well, you know what?
We know that he means business.
Yeah, you know what Gumi is saying now? That those coffees that are being buried, they are empty coffees. I
saw that message. I was mad.
Okay. So the fact that these Tinubu government, you said?
You can imagine the boldness.
Yeah. People, loved ones being buried, and you are coming out to say that they are burying empty caskets. You know, so Tinubu, I've said it again and again and again that he's just another terrorist sympathizer, organizer, coordinator, whatever it is. He cannot deny that because, like I said, going to like 2 weeks now, he hasn't taken even one step to show that he's ready to fight the terrorists, but rather he's still allowing them to run rampage, you know, to Gumi going from place to place everywhere. And the name of all these people that have been mentioned, every link, every avenue has mentioned them, Sanusi, El-Rufai, Sultan, all of them, aiding and abetting, working with terrorism. None of them has been apprehended for questioning. Absolutely nothing. Adeboye said, give them 100 days. What to do what? 100 days to do what? Just to deceive people, put them back to sleep. You know?
Deceivers.
What do you go, my brother?
I hope you saw the motion that MAZI NNAMDI KANU placed in yesterday. You saw the motion?
The motion?
MAZI NNAMDI KANU sent the motion recently. Now, you sent the motion to stop the judgment on the 20th.
Okay, yeah. I heard about it that he filed for it to the that judgment is to be stopped, and did he? I don't know if he appealed to. Is it the North Supreme Court or the, I don't know, but yeah. Well, let's see what happened because I watched the interview of this Atiku guy yesterday on another platform. It's not the mainstream platform, but yeah, when he said that he was with Nnamdi Kanu, you know, in the prison, I think it probably was the first time, not this current prison situation, but maybe the first one. So he said he knows him so well, and I don't recall the offense he committed that put him there, but he was pardoned or they released him. I don't know how that goes about. So, but he is appealing that he have seen it all, more or less, you know. Nnamdi Kanu is what he's asking for. It just as normal,
he ended
you
up
know?
in detention. What was his experience like? And would you also like to go back to that kind of environment again?
Well, it was a wonderful experience because it afforded me the opportunity of meeting somebody that is dear to my heart now. That's MAZI NNAMDI KANU.
Really?
I was detained, and the first day I was brought out, I saw him. I was shocked. So I now went close to him. I said, I am Comrade Atiku Isa. I wanted to introduce myself. I said, no, I know you. So I started telling me about what happened. So I became shocked. I said, then he told me that I'd be strong. That was how I continued discussion with him for about 2 months. So MAZI NNAMDI KANU is somebody I know very well, because if you stay with somebody on a daily basis and you are discussing with the person on a daily basis for about 2 months, because in detention, you don't have anything to do. You only sit down at a particular spot. And you are with this person on a daily basis. And you are always discussing. So you should know the kind of person that he is. And let me tell you that people don't know that it was prior to my meeting with MAZI NNAMDI KANU, I had thought that he was a wicked man who want to divide the country, because I'm a patriotic Nigerian and I don't want anything that will bring confusion in this country. So that was the mindset I had. But after meeting him, in the detention, I realized that the Fulanis, the Hausas, the Kanuris there are all loyal to him. You'll be shocked that he has more supporters in the DSS facility than he has outside. Because if anywhere you live and you have more than 90 5% of the people who are supporting you. Before I met him, a Fulani guy told me, because he said, oh, if you see MAZI NNAMDI KANU, he will like you because you can speak English. The guy does not understand English. We're always communicating in Hausa language and in Arabic language. So he said, he will like you because you can speak English, and he's a good man. If you have any problem, tell him, he will help you. So that is how they see MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Everybody in that detention facility, they see him as their leader. So it's not about a leader agitating for the Igbo cause. He's a leader agitating for Nigerians, for the betterment of Nigerians. So that is the person MAZI NNAMDI KANU is. So I have discussed with him severally. On a daily basis, he will tell me, Atiku will be strong. And along the line, now told me that, okay, I want you to play along so that they release you from here. I don't want you to continue to stay in detention. That was when I said, I have to remain in detention. I said, no, this place is not good for you. Play along. Do whatever they want you to do. Get away from here and go and meet your family. I said, you are here. Say, don't worry. You go out. I don't want to see young men like you to be in detention. So that is the person we are talking about, that MAZI NNAMDI KANU is. A very passionate leader with compassion, and he has the interest of especially the masses at heart. And I think the problem he has, which is not a problem, is that he's too courageous and fearless. And that is why, to me, he is still in detention. Courageous and fearless.
All right, let's look at the issue of the government and Nnamdi Kanu. Some persons say that the government is using Nnamdi Kanu as a scapegoat to avoid addressing legitimate grievances. They argue that Showere, Iboho, the chairman of Meiti Allah, all of them had issues at one time or the other. But government discontinued with that case and wondered, why is Nnamdi Kanu's case different?
Yes, I agree with those who say that. And but I also want to say that this did not start with the administration of President Tinubu. He was arrested during the last administration, and because they don't want to address the real issues. This thing is very simple. Why?
What do you think are the real issues?
The real issues are the insecurity, marginalization, and inequality in the country. These are basically the real issues. Address these issues. What on this? Because I believe that President Tinubu is a listening president. Yes, and just like I said about MAZI NNAMDI Kanu being fearless and courageous, which has put him in detention. One of the things that, though, is not something that should be seen as a weakness, which the President Tinubu has, is that he's too loyal to his friends. And he always stands by his friends. So he will not want to do anything that will embarrass his predecessor. So for that reason, he's taking his time. But on this, I really want to appeal to the President and Commander-in-Chief that if the likes of Igboho, their cases will be discontinued. The chairman of Mieti Allah, their cases, Mieti Allah was arrested and detained in the same facility where MAZI NNAMDI Kanu was detained. I was there, so I know all of these things. For security reasons, I won't mention the places. I know they are very, if you close my eyes, I can take you to the detention facility where MAZI NNAMDI Kanu is currently, and where Mieti Allah chairman was before he was released. Don't forget, he was arrested. His boys were alleged to have stabbed a general. You see, his boys were alleged to have killed soldiers. I know all lives are equal, but the life of a military man should be seen as being special because they protect the lives of the of others. If any group that will attack military men, those groups should not be seen, should be seen as being extremely violent, and they should be condemned in totality. The military men deserve respect and honor because they are putting their lives to protect us. So now, this same man, his case was discontinued. A Fulani man, his case was discontinued. Yes, he's my brother. I'm happy the case was discontinued, but I'm not happy that military men were attacked. Now, Igboho, who was agitating. His agitation was very violent. So many lives were lost. Security personnel were attacked. Yet his case was discontinued because he's a Yoruba man. I did not meet Igbohu and I did not meet the chairman of Mieti Allah, but I heard a lot of things about them. But in the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, all the things, he has been in detention. If the last one and the one that he's still in detention started in 2021, for all of these years, if they have anything against him, why have they not brought it out?
Exactly.
There's nothing against him, unlike these two people that their cases were discontinued. The president and commander-in-chief has the power by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He can direct the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue with this case in the interest of national healing and unity of the country. The last time, he should know that these two men I mentioned do not have the kind of support that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has. Okay, I am in order now. As at this moment, I am still owing as a result of the mobilization I did for people to come to Abuja to protest for the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. We knew that they were going to attack us. We were tear gassed. We still protested. We were ready to lay down our lives for MAZI NNAMDI KANU because we believe that he has our interest at heart. So a man that has such support, I'm not talking about, let me tell you this, that in the entire of the Southeast, all the governors combined together do not have the kind of support that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has. Absolutely. All the governors combined together. And like I told you earlier, which is one of the things people see as the weakness of President Tinubu, and to me it's not a weakness.
That is absolute truth. Everything this guy is saying is just there. That is it, but people will not understand.
Yeah.
But thank God that our voices are speaking, not just us, because when we talk, they will say
that Biafra. Yeah.
Biafra people.
You know,
now.
Go
ahead.
You know, the problem is that people, they misconstrue hatred and reality or justice. So that is the thing. People should be able to differentiate between somebody who believes in fairness, you know, justice and equity. And when you talk about it, so they looked at it as if you are being hateful, because NNAMDI KANU cannot stand the level of injustice that goes on in the country. So, and we see it, we live it every day. So when you don't play along, because they just want you to play along, that's what they want, that he just play along like the other Biafran politicians, the Igbo politicians, just pretend as if everything is okay, as if it's not happening, and maybe go run for governorship or ministerial, whatever, and just continue. But it is different. So some of us are different, you know. So there are those who will close their eyes away, even when you are being marginalized, when you can clearly see how the system is intended to destroy you. Some will just act as if they don't know, or it doesn't concern them. Or maybe because they are limited, you know, limited in scope, like the Uzodema, the Soludo, all of them for the most part. Everybody is open for everybody to see the level of marginalization. You know, the other day when we were talking, and that sister, the Yoruba sister, and I spelled it out, you know, because for me, I was very willing to say it the way it is, that how can it be that the whole Biafra region, you know, everybody know that Nigeria originally is a component of three major ethnic groups, Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. You know, it's now the creative land or whatever. But so how is it that we don't have not a functioning seaport in the entire Biafra land, the south, and southeast, and we don't have a working international airport? It's either we go to Lagos or Abuja. So if there is no marginalization, how do you explain that? You know, when we ship or import or whatever, we know the things we pay in form of taxes and stuff. It goes to help those regions, not our region. And then that is just, for me, that is what these two things, what I consider the the most of it all. There are other things, other things they do that shows marginalization and injustice, but these very two stand out for me. So for Nnamdi Kanu, all these governors, and she said we should hold our governors. Yeah, to an extent, I understand. When it comes to that, I understand that our governors are to blame majorly on that, because I said this severally. If they come together and say that this is unacceptable, that we cannot travel out of the country except we go to north or we come to southwest, which is Lagos, before we can board a flight and travel, that is unacceptable. When we ship things, or we cannot, but we have already the ground in which the seaport can be built. We know these things. Studies have shown that we have what it takes to have a functioning seaport. But somebody somewhere, they are blocking it. So obviously, like the case of Nnamdi Kanu, because he will not just play along. That is why it's different. All these other politicians in Biafra land, they agree to play along because they don't care. They don't have the interest of the people at hand, only their personal interest, their immediate family. So that is exactly the problem. And Nnamdi Kanu is not a hateful person. So if you say it the way it is, with so much boldness for people to hear, then some will misunderstand it to be attack or hateful, or you hate Fulani, or you hate Yoruba, or no. Far from it. Because he said in one of these things, he have relatives, people maybe that married to Yoruba, one way or the other, same as me too. So I don't hate anybody, but that's not gonna stop me from saying it the way it is.
No.
So if you are bullying the Igbo people in Lagos, because that's how I see it, it's bullying, that they cannot vote certain way, that if they don't vote this, you will throw them out and you destroy their business, and now you ban them, they cannot vote in Lagos, or the name street that you are doing all these, so many steps, measures you are taking. How is that in one country in the first place? So if somebody say it the way it is, then you say he hates you or he's hateful. That's not hatefulness. That is being very proactive and being truthful. So this is what I see with Nnamdi Kanu, because even before, when he was also incarcerated, he talked about, I think one of them, another person, if not even this article, there's another guy who has also come out to talk, the interaction they have with Nnamdi Kanu, how he encourages them, everything. So it is what it is. Okay, this guy now, I don't necessarily have to agree with him 100% in the things he says. But as usual, you don't have to agree with people 100%, right?
Yes.
But when they speak the truth, you acknowledge that they speak the truth. If they did something good, you have to acknowledge it and you move on. And if they say or do the one you don't want, you don't accept it, you don't accept it. Because for us, Nnamdi Kanu, I believe that the job is done for the most part. And we can see the result of everything he has done. And in terms of the preaching and the admonition, everybody eyes don't open, And I tell you that this country called Nigeria, no matter what happens moving forward, it can never be business as usual again. That I can guarantee you, cannot be business as usual. Why? Because that message they have been singing about Islamization has taken root. Everybody, whether you have power to do anything or not, you now know the consciousness. Who would have thought that another young man, I don't even know if he's Yoruba or a Middle Beltan, the one who talked about, you played this video that day, I was not here when you played it, So that one, now, he said that some men of God, people he look up to, probably the likes of the Adeboye and all those people.
I have the video. I played it last night. I played the video last night. They want him to remove the video.
Exactly. But you see that he came out on that video to say that they want him to delete it. But then in the process of telling us that he was one to delete it, he even made a bigger revelation. It's like he even said much more frightening thing. It's incredible how things goes, because that first video, he talked about the people, the sponsors, and all the atrocities that they've committed over the many decades, he mentioned them. Then when they warned him, he now came out and talked about the blasphemy law, that, yeah, he said that it's not supposed to be there. So he was emphasizing the blasphemy law. And that is the cocoa of the matter. This blasphemy law, you cannot have it. But we know the evil ones, they don't want to talk about it. The media, they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it.
Because they know that one singular thing, that one alone, is enough to rock the boat. I'm telling you the truth. Because that is the condition from what Ted Cruz is saying. It must be abolished. It has to be abolished. And they are not going to do that.
So they should go on their own, be on their own and practice it within themselves.
You see my point? That is why I say we must continue.
Nobody will go to Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Iran and tell them to remove blasphemy law. You can't do that.
Exactly.
They agree with it. That is what they chose. Likewise, if you have a caliphate in the north now, they have a Arewa caliphate. You can't go and tell them to remove it. But not in a secular country. Not in a secular country. So since they want to keep it within yourselves.
Exactly.
And you will not keep it in the name of, say, be together, united, this one practice different law. No. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Everybody must protect their boundaries, protect their borders.
Because you cannot go to Iran, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia, or any of these places and go and infuse in the Christian ecclesiastical law in their constitution. It won't happen. You know that?
Never.
So, because they are Islamic Republic, so why would you go and bring it into a country that is not a religious country, a country that is secular state? So obviously that is truly where the whole thing with Kasarago boss, you know. If they don't agree, so but that's my point, that has to be the subject, you know, that every well-meaning person should continue to hammer now. So it's as simple as that. And he has come to say we just have to keep talking about it, writing about it, because that Christian guy in Abuja, that they forced him into a Sharia court and trying to take his court away. I don't know, maybe they find a way to just cover it, or maybe I don't know what they did, because on our right,
they will always cover it up. Such kind of a thing that the media is supposed to begin to follow it up until it is resolved. They will never follow up.
Exactly. You know, the media, they are just part of the problem in the country. They are very corrupt. You know, they do cover up so much. They don't want to speak the truth. So that is the thing. We have to.
Let's play the video of that CAN member that they manipulated his video. Use the video to manipulate and blackmail him.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one Rufai asked. Rufai asked him, what is the solution? I expected that CAN guy, you know, he was supposed to tell him that the solution is that this ecclesiastical law has to be taken out.
US
you understand?
President Donald Trump,
I don't know,
stirred public debate in Nigeria after making a statement expressing concern over the continued killing of Christians and other citizens by extremist groups. The US president warned that such violence, if not stopped, could attract stronger international reactions. The Nigerian federal government, while addressing the allegations of religious persecution in the country, rejected the United States designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Reacting to this latest development, Reverend John Joseph Hayab, chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and the FCT, has urged Nigerians to embrace dialogue as the best way to resolve the country's challenges. The chairman, who was reacting to the response it generated from many segments of the community, both local and international.
This idea of embrace dialogue is, I don't know where the dialogue is coming from. People you are talking about are not even ready to dialogue.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start embracing this dialogue? Where are you going to start? Is it in practicing different law against people?
Yeah.
Is it how you're going to start the dialogue? How are you going to start the dialogue? Is it by allowing Sharia law in a secular country? Is it how to engage in dialogue?
National urges dialogue rather than anger to the comments made by foreign leaders. Joining us on the show to discuss the allegations of religious persecution in the country is Reverend Joseph Hayab, chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states and the FCT. Good morning, Reverend Hayab, and you're most welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me, and good morning to all of you there and to all our viewers.
Excellent. Let's go straight in. We've been having this conversation now since that post by the U.S. president claiming that there is a Christian genocide happening, particularly in the northern part of the country. Now, you're the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the north, so I'm sure you'd have a better picture of what is happening. So my first question to you, which has been asked to a number of people with differing answers, is this: would you consider what is going on right now against Christians in the north as a genocide? And then going back to your take around conversation, dialogue as a response to the U.S. What does this mean? Can you break that down further for us? What does dialogue, or what would dialogue look like?
Let me go straight to your question. Can I consider what has been happening as genocide against Christians? And my straightforward answer is yes. Y-E-S, yes. Because these things have been there. But let me quickly put this picture. We have different groups and different people who view this differently. Number one, we have people who chose to deny that there is genocide. In their own thinking, there's no Christian persecution even in northern Nigeria. We have also those who deliberately chose to downplay this matter. In their own thinking, claims by Christians that they are being persecuted or they are being killed is just for them to get sympathy. We also have this group who deliberately also chose to misrepresent. Their own is to keep misrepresenting the entire conversation, framing it as it is just only farmers-herders conflict. Well, we know as victims that it is not. And then we have the last group, those who probably are sympathizers of the perpetrators or sympathizers of victims. So anytime you listen to this conversation, you have this thing going. But as I've said in many fora, that the truth about it is that anybody who comes out and say that there's no Christian genocide, there's no Christian persecution, is not fair. It's not fair to the Christians of northern Nigeria, neither is it fair to the victims and their families. Because some of us who are talking today, we've been around and we have buried many in numbers. We can give those numbers and those incidences with dates. Long even before Boko Haram came up. So the killings have always been there. To just fast-track it, you begin with issue of Sharia crisis in 2000. Over 2,000 people died, and we know what really happened. We buried them. In just 2 years after, the Miss World Beauty Pageant crisis came up, over 300 people were killed. We know what happened. We know the people were buried. I used to say this not for any reason, so that you don't think I'm telling you stories I read from books. I was part of the burial. I actually did the burial. So it's not a story. We knew what happened in 2006 about the Danish cartoon crisis. And then Boko Haram came up and further make it big. Kill our pastors, burnt our churches. The fact is that, like the Baptist church that I belong, many of our churches have to shut down completely in Maiduguri and in most of the part of the Northeast due to Boko Haram. Boko Haram were not just targeting people, they were targeting Christians. They publicly came, and thank God, ISWAP and other terrorist organizations are saying it publicly that, look, they will not stop tormenting or they will not stop persecuting Christians. But when you ask me as a Christian, is it just about killings? It goes beyond that. There are so many things we have faced. We face a situation where our children cannot be admitted in certain universities that are public universities, and their crime is not because they are not qualified, they are Christians. We face a situation that even if they go to that school, you will have mosques and places of worship for other religions, but they don't have a place to worship. So every Sunday, they will be changing classroom for them. You're not going to worship here today. You're not going to worship here next week. So they don't have a permanent place to worship. And we ask ourselves, where? I, Reverend Hayab, have fought even in public media that there should be no federal institution in Nigeria where a citizen of Nigeria, a son of a Nigeria, will not be allowed to exercise his right. But our children suffer that. Look, I'll give you an example. There is a resource center by the Catholic in Kaduna, near the Lugat Hole roundabout. In 2000, there were many priests. I remember one of the priests I will always remember was there, is Professor Peter Bona. he is a professor, a reverend father, a professor. They chased them out of that place, burnt all those centers. So Christians have suffered so many things that we don't just need to keep repeating it. And that's why we say, first, acknowledge that something went wrong. But let's look, how do we correct what went wrong? But when you say that there was nothing wrong, then we are not going to correct it. We'll keep pretending and keep lying to ourselves. If we want to correct it, first we acknowledge that something went wrong, Christians have been killed, and truly we've buried many.
Reverend, thank you so much for that insight. And, you know, it's always very valuable to have somebody who has first-hand experience and a first-hand account of some of the things that transpired. What I found to be very profound in what you said is that you also documented what preceded Boko Haram. Now, you know, we frame this conversation through the lens of terrorism, and we know Boko Haram to sort of be the launch pad of terrorist insurgency in this part of the world. I'd love for you to break down what you attribute the ideology or the group motivation to have been prior to Boko Haram, because that is a designated terrorist organization. So which group or which ideology was pushing this prior to the emergence of Boko Haram and other groups that have come up since then?
Well, if you quickly also I can take you back to late 1970s when the Matetsine happened. The only challenge is that at the time of Matetsine, there was no use of the term terrorism. But what Matetsine did was exactly terrorism. When Riyad Bonke came to Kanu and to just launch his crusade, fundamentalists came out and killed people in hundreds. It was also terrorism. But probably because at that time, there was no term, the use of term terrorism. You will agree with me that terrorism became common after 9/11. So, but there has been killings. There has been a lot of evil going on in our soil in the name of religion. So Boko Haram seems to be the most official terrorist group that came out publicly to declare their stand against any other faith, their stand against Christians. They kill pastors like Oji, they kill Sylvester Osanabo, they kill many. So,
Reverend, my question to you is,
what the ideology is that Islam or nobody.
Extremist?
The ideology simply is that anybody who do not believe in their brand of Islam is an infidel. And especially those who are not even associated with Islam are infidel. So that was the ideology. The ideology is Islam and Islam alone. And that's why they apply it to resources, they apply it to education, they apply it to development, they apply it to anything. Once you don't belong to, then you are an infidel.
And were there specific leaders? Were there specific leaders who used to drive this?
Yes, of course, there are specific leaders they know. As I'm speaking, Christians who have been all enough in northern Nigeria will know them. I remember in 1986, one particular leader came out publicly and said that, I quote, that according to Islamic teaching, a Christian cannot lead him. And again, he cannot also be led by women. And it became a heated issue in 1986. And I remember in 1987, there was a local government election. Then Kaduna local government was won, not divided as it is today. Yeah. And the Christians came out and said, okay, if that is the case, we are going to show that we are in this town. They went and searched for a pastor called John Aboki and voted for him to become the local government chairman of Kaduna local government then. And in the word of that particular leader who said that, they voted one Grace Chechet to become the counselor of his ward, just to correct that. But that kind of teaching have already entered some extremists, and they believe that a Christian cannot be. And that Reverend, is not good for a country like Nigeria.
Reverend.
Yes, Hussein.
Please, I want clarity this morning. I'm happy that there's a shift in narrative. But this was not what you were saying when the fact-finding mission happened that involved Mike Arnold.
They blackmailed this man to hell.
The government person.
He will free himself now.
Mockery. That was repeated. This was not what you were saying.
I don't know. Mockery is
what you were saying was entirely different. So please, can you throw more lights on what transpired in that fact-finding mission? Also, this was not what you were saying when you had those meetings with Daniel Bwala. What changed? Have you seen the lights now, Reverend?
Bro, Christian.
Yeah.
You see, what they did to this reverend is what they are doing to a lawmaker in the US now. Buala is using an interview that was granted by the lawmaker to an Arise TV host. And they are using it against Trump. They are using it now, saying that Trump made his statement out of whatever, out of tension. That he didn't mean it. Trump never meant to come. I will play that video. After this one, I will play that video. So you will see what the man actually meant and what he really said in the video. But in Nigeria, they twist it.
Okay. Thank you very much for putting up this question, because I give me an opportunity to clear a misconception. From the first word, I had just repeated what I said in that interview now, and I have the full video. Whoever did one small video to blackmail me then did not know that I had the full video. From the first word, I simply said, I am Reverend Joseph John Hayab, the chairman of CAN in the 19 Northern State and FCT. And anybody who said that there is no killing is a liar. I can share that video with you, Rufai, so that you will know that something went out behind the scene. But when I finished explaining that, I said the only thing that as Christians we will not support is for someone, because there was a comment around that time of a comedian that said the total number of killing was 100,000. And then another said, no, it's not 100,000, it's 500,000. And I clarified that there's no one that have killed 100,000 as at that time, or 500,000. And so I think either Mike Arnold or someone played the script and just went by the side. When you look at that video, you will see I was being picked by the side, and it did not take me what I said from minute 1 to the second minute and just take some seconds in between the third minute and now put it as if I said something. Fortunately for me, a young man was there standing, and he videoed everything I said from first word to the last word. So when you watch it, then you will know the drama surrounding Nigeria. So I don't think there's any problem. Because the visit of Boala to the National CAN, thank God that the National CAN came out immediately and also refuted. You can see the misinformation, the twisting. I've talked about misrepresentation. The Boala team came to see our national leaders. Instead of discussing honestly, they just wanted to catch them on camera with group photographs. And they came out and said that our national president said the so-called genocide. And our national president never said so. Even the first report that came out to misrepresent CAN, one of our directors was quoted to have said that. And we sat him down. And he told our national leaders that he never said that. He was said out of context. I think one of the most dramatic aspects of this conversation is what we are seeing. Did you observe the video? The video is showing that I was in a meeting with Islamic leaders. Can someone tell me whether I've ever been in such a meeting? I have been part of some controversies sometimes.
Are you saying
in the way people
at
me, and they don't know that I...
No, Reverend, sir. Because, Reverend, you know why I was shocked when I saw you on that fact-finding mission? Because I know you since the days of El Rufai and how you came here and you stood tall and you spoke against El Rufai. So when I saw you in that fact-finding mission, I was surprised. So are you saying that those that organized the fact-finding mission came to manipulate the system? And why were you part of it in the first place? When they organized that manipulation, why did you even go across people like that?
I don't want to conclude. If their intention was to manipulate, their intention was to get facts. And what was the fact? I gave them raw, and I have all that interview on tape. Not anything, on tape. The fact is that the day I had a conversation with Mike Arnold, first, he was using the first 1 minute manipulating video, but when I sent to him the full video, he now said, yes, I admit that you did say this, you did say this. I don't know what happened, because the video also tells me something. That when Mark Arnold was seated by my side and we started the interview, he then moved towards my left or right. What was he? Then probably either him or his colleague were the one. They asked me to even wait and have a meeting with the Muslim. I said, no, I'm not here to debate. I've put my facts across that Christians are being killed, and anybody who said that contrary is lying. The fact is that the last part of the video, which let's even repeated that the reason why we are where we are is because of denial. Admit it and let's get here.
Reverend, let's talk solution, but you have to send the original video to be able to clear yourself so that the people can see it.
Yeah, I will.
Let's talk solutions. Solutions to this matter.
As
we start to wrap up. Solutions to this matter, Reverend.
Yeah, the solution is simple. See, you can't tell someone who is a victim, who is in pains, that his cry about his pains is not true. Once we stop doing that, then we will find solution. Let's admit that, yes, people came and killed Christians, and they came in the name of religion. And which religion? They came as Islamic fundamentalists. No Christian is saying that Muslims had a meeting and asked some people to go and kill them. But Christians are saying that fundamentalists, terrorists, came in the name of Islam and killed Christians. When we acknowledge that fact, then we've started a journey of healing. Number two, as a nation, when we begin to talk honestly to one another and understand the feelings, the cry, the pains that people are going through, then people will trust any conversation we bring on the table. But when we see people in pains and we don't bother, like someone telling me that Trump is coming with an American agenda, first I ask you this question. If Trump had an is having an agenda, what about your own agenda that have been killed and you didn't care? Before you tell me about Trump agenda, have you shown concern when I was killed? Have you shown concern when I was burying people in large number? Did you show concern when I was grieving? You even mocked at us. You even laughed at us. So if you want to bring Trump agenda, you've not started the conversation. Think of me as a Nigerian. Think of me as a fellow neighbor. Think of me as a citizen and treat me with that respect. Give me the respect I deserve. I don't need to wait for Trump for that. But if you fail to do it and Trump says he's going to come, let him come. At least he will make you know that you are not the only one who is watching. And listening to what Trump says, Trump never said he was coming to fight Nigeria. I know there's a twisting of all these things. Trump simply said, go after these terrorists. If you don't go after them, we can come and go after them. So who is afraid of Trump coming to Nigeria? Probably he has an hidden agenda or something to do with terrorists. But the government can also come out and say, hey, we've had enough of this. We were taking position from now henceforth. Anybody who torments a fellow citizen, a Nigerian, because of his identity, whether tribal, whether religion, there will be a law, there's a law about it, and we will deal with him. If those who are causing this problem know that government will come after them, and there are structures, I even suggest to government, you can put up a task force in charge of religious freedom, who will monitor, investigate, advocate, and prosecute those who infringe on other people's rights. Then people will know the game is over.
All right, thank you. That was actually the question I was going to ask you. In one sentence, Reverend, do you think, so Trump coming in, fighting the terrorists and this task force, would that guarantee religious freedom in the North?
What did you say?
One sentence.
In reality, we really don't need Trump to fight. We're supposed to ask...
If Trump come, well...
Trump's coming in, will he guarantee religious freedom in the North?
Well, if it's done properly, if the writing is done, which is coming, yes, for sure. And to me, for me, that writing to be done with is either two options: remove that blasphemy law, most importantly, because this reverend is talking about instituting a committee to look into religion, whatever. Those things don't work, because if you want the Nigerian government to do that committee, they will still go and put people who will see black and call it white, So the solution, which I don't know, sometimes again, this is the problem. When people don't look for the concrete, everlasting solution to an issue, if you like half a measure approach, it doesn't work, because it will come back again to haunt you. But deal with it cut it off from the root. And that is, they abolish this blasphemy law, and if they don't want, then they go their own. This is what they should be. Maybe it's a gradual process. You know what I mean, Brachus? Maybe it's something that eventually we get there. So because for us, maybe somebody will say, for us now, zobu, sort of, So, but let's see, because that, at the end of the day, that is the only thing that is going to be the ultimate solution. They will not accept it, but then they go their own way. Simple. Anything other than that, you're wasting your time, because they are still stubborn. They will never go back, or except you make them go back. Thank you.
And this task force, would that guarantee religious freedom in the North? One sentence.
In reality, we really don't need Trump to fight. We're supposed to, as a sovereign country, fight. But a situation where you are hungry and a visitor comes to give you food, the temptation is that you will eat the food, because you will not allow yourself to die of hunger. If there is a failure in going after those who have been causing this problem in Nigeria, the temptation also is there that if someone comes and will offer a relief, you will go for it. So to me, it is a wake-up call. Government, instead of allowing all this unnecessary debate, hey, we have had the cry. Yes, we have even realized the international community are interested in it. But we will show that we are a government. We will show that in this country there is a constitution, there is a law. From now henceforth, no Nigeria should be persecuted in Kanu, should be persecuted in Sokoto, should be persecuted in Maiduguri, should be persecuted in Calabar, should be persecuted in Rivers, should be persecuted in Imo, should be persecuted in Enugu or in Lagos or in Ogun. Once the Nigerian government takes up that position, I tell you, terrorists will know their game is over. But once they strike, and then we allow this kind of debate and don't go after them, then they assume that they have a whole day or a field day. Let's stop them. Then religious leaders can come together and begin to talk honestly about dialogue, but dialogue from the point of respect.
Thank you so much, Reverend John Joseph Hayab. Indeed, no Nigeria in any corner of Nigeria should be persecuted.
I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196, 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not saying. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person who not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that they entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial is not done anywhere in the world. And you wonder why God cost you. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless. You cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want you to talk to this. Show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. Then why we in the court? Why we in the court of law?
Welcome back, my fellow Biafrans. We must continue. My sister, Stella Uzoka. Stella said that we should try and send this evidence to the US and other. We are doing our best. We are sending loaded of evidence. We are sending. I am doing my part. Everybody is writing, sending. Even Christian is writing and sending. We are pushing it to everywhere we know we can be able to push. Most of the videos you see me, I do program here. I don't only use your program. After my programs, I forward those videos to necessary places I have to forward it. I send my programs to where I have to send it. And every one of us have the same assignment. Every one of us that is in this platform, as you are watching, if you cannot come out to speak, share the video to your representative wherever you are, in any country you are. These videos we are playing and we are showing you can use it as an evidence. You can take them, cut them out. You can cut them out and call the part you want, and you share. Share it in your platform, share to family and friends. These are things we have to do. These are things we have to do. The only voice that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has in detention is you. It is me. As we are pushing forward this very motion that he passed today to stop the judgment on his case, when we push it and make it go viral, people are going to see it. There are still good people everywhere, every part of the world. There are still people who has conscience, who cannot withstand injustice happen. We have them in the US, we have them in Canada, we have them in Australia, we have them in the UK, we have them even in France. There are still some people that cannot withstand injustice. That is why we must continue to, everywhere we are across the world. You never can tell. Maybe it is your own video that are going to come across. Maybe it is my own video. Maybe it is your own post. We must not keep silent. When you come to a platform, your contribution on the comment section also matters. As you are speaking, they are watching and they're hearing. It is very important. Very, very important. This is a critical time that we must not play with any information. Every single information that we see or we hear are very, very important. You must not play with it.
Master,
go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, do you think that MAZI NNAMDI KANU, is it like his preemption that the 20th November judgment verdict is not gonna be to his to our liking, or that because it could also be that he has maybe inside information that they are up to no good, so therefore he tried to stop it or to appeal for something else, because he was never given a chance. The things he asked for, he called names, evidence of people to come and testify, and to show the government, the Omotosho, and the prosecutions, they ought to be able to tell him, in which law of the land are they trying him? They didn't do any of those. They never answered that question.
All the motion he filed to defend himself, none of them was attended.
And he asked those questions repeatedly. They never. He always walk away. He walk away and postponed. Postponed. So, and at the end now. Yeah. So I think is it that NNAMDI KANU he feels that is not a good. Do you understand? What do you think? What I'm saying? Or what?
Of course, no sensible person will expect anything positive coming from Nigeria.
Because this article guy, of course, is somebody who is, should I say, is expressing his opinion on how he feels, the level of injustice, the unfairness, and everything. Yes. So, but he is saying that that the case will be discontinued. In one of the interviews I watched him, he mentioned the case being discontinued by maybe before the 20th. So, but I guess NNAMDI KANU have his own take on the whole thing, because they are not walking the right path. If they were, they will first of all let him know, show him where the jurisdiction they didn't do that, and then bring the testimonies he asked for, stuff like that. So I think that's why he conclude that to make this appeal. But I think that they are in no win-win situation. That is my personal opinion. I don't think that the Nigerian government, they are in no win-win situation, because everything I've shown that they are just, they are walking a tightrope. They don't have justice on their side. Everything they are doing is against their own law. So
against their own law entirely. Everything is against their own law.
Yeah. So that would be very, very, should I say, strange or unprecedented that you can try somebody, and convict him with no law attached to it. There's nowhere found, and it's crazy. But I think let's just see what happens, And the man, the article guy, he is saying that he has spoken with Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah, and rightly so. If you talk with somebody for 2 months, for example, continuously having a discussion because you are both locked up in a place, yeah, it's more than enough time to know the person you are, So, but for me, quite frankly, what matters is the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man. So let him be set free. That is first of all, and that is what matters. Then any other thing that happens. So, but how do you go, my brother? Oku Nigeria.
That's what it is. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is trying to exhaust all the legal means. The good thing about it is that we are in a time where you cannot hide information. The social media time.
Yeah.
And that social media time, MAZI NNAMDI KANU is utilizing it very, very effectively. And every other person that is coming to that, they are utilizing it very, very well. You can imagine what could have happened if we are not getting information on what is happening to MAZI NNAMDI KANU. They will only come and tell you that MAZI NNAMDI KANU, they have done the trial. After the trial, he could not be able to defend himself, and this is the judgment. That is what you hear.
Yeah, everything in the dark.
They will just end it, just like they did to other people unjustly.
Yeah.
You had the case of Kensaro where he ended. Unjustly. Yeah. Nobody knew what happened, what transpired, how he defended himself, or what was said. And the next thing, it's over.
Because no social media, nothing.
No social media. People were not following up.
Yeah.
People were not following up. Not like the case of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, where MAZI NNAMDI KANU first of all took charge of the social media, and we are there following him up bomber to bomber. If they go to court now, no matter how they try to prevent people from coming with their video, immediately after the court, we spread the information. The content of the court will be there. The whole thing that wanted the court will be out there, and the world is watching. That is why this time is done. That when we say this is not the time to play or begin to talk about irrelevant issues. More especially this time that the satellite of the world is on Nigeria in this CPC issue.
Yeah. We must seize the moment.
Every move they make is an indictment. Every move they make is an indictment.
Yeah. We have to push and amplify them.
Push.
Yeah.
We must have to continue to push. And that is exactly what MAZI NNAMDI KANU is doing. You don't agree with them. Do you know how many even as at yesterday, we are still telling him to back down on the agitation. And he said no.
Yesterday.
Even as at yesterday, backing down on agitation is one of the major conditions they are giving him to come out.
Oh no! Well, for me, of course, I know you don't have to be anything to know what is going on. And quite frankly, my suspicion is that maybe they will want to convict him on that 20th, and then now ask for pardon. Then they will pardon him with condition, and that is not going to happen. That is what that is
their plan, and MAZI NNAMDI KANU will never accept that.
And he knows it. Yeah, he knows it. So
that is why he's pushing on the button. Because at the end of the day, they will say they convict him. Okay, they grant you pardon. You don't pardon. That's for a long time they've talked about pardon, and he has said it in the court that he's not looking for pity. Neither is he looking for pardon. He wants to be healthy and face the trial.
Yeah.
He doesn't need your pity or asking for your pardon.
And that's why when they talk about political solution, that is the political solution they are talking about.
Exactly.
That is that political solution, so that he will be pardoned. The president will now.
You know what transpired in 2015, the first arrest. Even when he came out, he spoke about it. How they connived with politicians to come and stand bail for him. Even when they know that it is against the law for a politician to stand bail for anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. A politician, an active government official, is not supposed to be a shorty to anybody anywhere. But they
Nigeria don't follow the law, their own law. They don't. God.
It's very funny. It's very funny. A very lawless country at every given point in time. This idiot called Gumi. Do you know that the son of Gumi is a lieutenant? in the army.
Yeah, they don't push him now. They don't push him. Before you know now, he gonna become a general. Terrorist, oh, terrorist.
Oh my God. His
Terrorist.
son is a lieutenant in the army.
Yeah.
These are the
Terrorist.
people. He is terrorist sympathizer.
Yeah, the same ideology as his father. That's what they are. Yeah, Shetima, who is now the vice president, a terrorist himself. Everything now, all the lists, all the information has shown that Shetima was one of the founders of Boko Haram with Ali Modu Sharif, and he's still in government. So how are you going to win the war against terrorism when the people who are expected to fight it are the terrorists themselves? How is that going to? That's the video of that young man. I hope he has gone viral. Make no mistake, that video will go, and you'll be surprised how far that video will go. You know that the foreign minister of Nigeria, one Mohammed something, I don't know if he's Northerner or Yoruba, but I guess it's a Northerner. He looks fair with one mark like that, and his one long mark in his face. He was on German TV.
The man that's Shetima visiting terrorists.
Yeah. Let him come and deny this.
On video, Shetima, the current president of Nigeria, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him with terrorists.
Chey, Arumel.
Immediately after they made him a vice president.
Yeah.
Look at him. Immediately he was announced as the vice president. That was when he went for this visit. The Nigerian vice president elect. Caught visiting bandits.
And afterwards, you know what he said? He said that the government should apply kinetic measure with them. After this, when he became vice president, that they should not fight them, but they should have a dialogue with them.
That is it. Do you think that Gumi is just saying that thing he's saying by himself? Gumi is a mouthpiece for this idiot. This
Shetima.
terrorist.
Yeah.
They are the one protecting Gumi. These are the people who are there, the people who are working for the terrorists from Futajalon, the one that is in Sokoto.
You will never see you will not see the mainstream media like the Channel or the Arise or AIT or the VOP. You will not see them playing this video and asking questions. How can you, as the vice president, be piling with terrorists? They will not, whether I fear or what is it, complicit. I don't know what it is.
The instruction they give them now, they must not play the video. They must not talk about it. You don't discuss it. If you discuss it, they shut down your television station. What again will you do?
Hey, Arumel.
A vice president with bandit.
Yeah.
These are the people that Finland is sharing information with. Look at them.
Yeah.
These are people that are sharing details with Finland that they went and took MAZI Nnnamdi. Look at them. And this is the people you want the US to go and share information with. Look at them.
I see terrorists there standing with arms everywhere. Look at them. Hey, God. Nigeria. Yeah.
Imagine. All these are in the public. All these informations are in the public. All this information in the public. And you still have the gut to determine MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Finland is exchanging information with a terrorist country today. They come and claim, we got the information. Based on the information we got from Nigerian government, you arrested MAZI Nnnamdi. They should be ashamed of themselves. With this thing that's with the decision of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, Finland should be ashamed of themselves. They should be very, very ashamed of themselves. But of course, how can you shame the shameless? Some of them have lost their shame because of because of a personal interest. Because of greed, they have lost their shame. They don't even care anymore. Let us listen to this one, a message from a U.S. female soldier.
States of America, and may God bless our great president, Donald J. Trump, for his unwavering love for humanity and dedication to global peace and safety. Thank you, Mr. President, for your deep concern regarding the killing of Christians in Nigeria, when many choose to stay silent, an issue many overlooked. So your voice gives strength to the voiceless. I am so proud and honored to serve as one of your soldiers, supporting the peacekeeping mission in Nigeria. Sir, we stand ready at your command. And for those of you Nigerians saying all sorts of things that you don't know, things that you're not sure of, oh, America is coming to take our natural resources. Let me tell you, stop insulting America. America is already richly blessed by God and has more than enough. Get that right. This is a great nation that spends its strength and resources to restore peace and protect the innocent. Maybe you don't know. America is a nation under God, blessed to be a blessing, always standing for freedom and supporting the less privileged. We Nigerians here in America, we are blessed to be here. I am blessed to be in America. Okay? So stop running your mouth. Watch what you say. All right? Get that right. God bless America. Peace for Nigeria. U.S. Army, strong. One nation, under God.
Under God.
Exactly. Some idiots will be talking rubbish and talking trash here and there. Those of them who are talking that the U.S. want to take their resources, let me show them what they need to go and stop. You will see where they have a factory in the middle of the forest with airports, where they are cutting away with their resources. And they can't do anything. US is coming to take your resources. But as we speak, your resources are being taken away by Chinese in your forests. In broad daylight, you see airports. They build their own. They build their own airfield over there. Build a factory in the middle of the forest, and they are taking away their resources. None of them have the courage to even talk. None of them can even. You dare not even look at that very place or talk. Say you won't go do it. They burn you well. Bandits are protecting the place with well-armed bandits with the military, protecting criminals. But when other people come and say they want to help you, you begin to learn. You begin to realize, oh, you are a sovereign idiot. You're a sovereign criminal. You don't want your place you don't want them to take your resources that is already in the hand of the enemy, resources that the enemies are already taken, resources that they've already taken completely, that you're not in control of. Let's watch this.
On Nigeria.
You see that in the middle of the forest.
Few greedy people come set up company here.
A company.
Capital Flight. Maybe this is a limestone company. See S-Strip. Maybe S-Strip with this. No be plane takeoff with this. See S-Strip now. See the ending.
Wrong way.
S-Strip takeoff. From inside Kogio. Where they say Kogi no get airport. See airport inside Kogio. S-Strip.
The Kogi State itself no get airport.
See now. See the end.
Now, big runway be this, oh.
Big runway into the state. The state itself.
Nigeria.
My God, look at that.
The state itself doesn't have airport.
But then go build inside bush.
Inside bush, look, see factory where they mine those minerals. They go process them here. From here, the airport they near, they just carry them back to their country.
And you tell me that Tinubu, the president, doesn't know that this is this?
Few greedy people.
Are you talking about what about Nigerian people?
Few greedy people come set up company here.
Yeah.
Capital Flight. Maybe this is a limestone company. See S-Strip. Don't be S-Strip with this. Don't be plane takeoff with this. See S-Strip now. See the ending. S-Strip takeoff for inside Kogio. Where they say Kogio no get airport. See airport inside Kogio. S-Strip. Inside Kogi State. See now. See the end. Nigeria.
Which country be this?
Nigeria. Finished. This is the cost of making semi-illiterate or complete illiterates.
You see where they position?
Yeah.
Inside bush. See.
But just you know, this whole thing. No, I don't know, man. I don't know because
from satellite. You see inside in the center of the forest to see them for Kogi State. Just look at it in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
The state itself doesn't have an airport. But look at what is happening here. Did you see?
But all those mainstream medias, so they won't talk about this, or maybe they probably thought we don't know. But the question is,
where did you see them talk?
why will the commander in chief not know about this, or if he knows, why will he not step up and do something about it?
Shomole spoke about it in the
assembly.
Assembly.
Okay.
Let me play the whole video. I think that's part of Oshomole.
Whatever, they don't care as long as they secure their purse, because they have no means of livelihood, and you just gave it to them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna finish it. Look at it. It's just not far from Mopa. Damn it.
Airstrip in the.
This illegal mining, they use choppers, they procure arms, exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms, they use choppers to come and cut away the gold.
Look at that.
And they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars.
So will you tell me they don't?
And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC, and I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what something really happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. Okay. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. That with some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish.
Okay.
We can't change our
all of them.
When it affects our people, we are the best.
So when somebody come and tell you they don't know, they know everything. Even he himself, this idiot, they talk.
He said He said that he gave the information to the former president, but the other that is Buhari, but he knows Buhari knows about it, and they has passed down to Tinubu, and they are all in it. Tinubu know about it. They are all benefiting. They don't care, and they have people. And you started when before I came in, you were talking about the YouTubers in Nigeria that the Tinubu administration, they are all on his payroll.
Many of them,
Including the one is Igbo guy, but born and raised in Lagos. They are all on Tinubu's bandwagon. These YouTubers, Christian. His name is Christian, but we know that. For me, I understand. Okay, they are going through hard time in the economic situation in Nigeria. But we also know that that is the opportunity, the advantage that all these criminal politicians are taking. They give them money, they come on YouTube, they tell you how Tinubu is building Nigeria, how Tinubu is restructuring, how Tinubu is doing I tell them, I say, look, forget these are. I understand if they are giving you some money to feed, but stop it. Tinubu is the same. They are all in it. Tinubu knows about this video you are showing. I just seen for the first time. I don't know how long he's been around. This video, if it's recent, but I'm just seeing it for the first time. But Tinubu knows about it, and they are all working. They are all in it. They're just. Because it's been around for so long. Shomora said if he gave it to the former president, that's like more than 2 years ago, maybe 3. And it's still there, it's still ongoing, it's still going. And they say they train terrorists and bandits who guide the place, stuff like that. Tinubu knows about it. Just like all this killing of Christians, he knows about. Tinubu knows about all of it. He doesn't want to do anything. Adeboye them.
Adeboye is doing the same thing in Lagos State.
Yeah, Adeboye them, they all know how these things, trust me. And when they are asking for time, they know what they are doing. They are all in it. All of them. So it's a gangster paradise that Nigeria is. It is a gangster paradise. And there's no solution, no solution. When it comes to this Christian genocide, the only solution is you just have to be that, remove Sharia law, which is not going to happen. Then give them their own these things so that they go their mind with Chinese and doing what. Let them just do what they like. So that is the only thing.
It is sad. It is sad. Let's hear from Larry Babe. Larry Babe, speak to us. Let's hear you.
Hello. Good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You're welcome.
Okay, my brothers. Listening to all the confessions, testimonies of all these people, there is nothing one should wonder again why Nnamdi Kanu is not giving any fair justice. First of all, they have these Fulani evil people, they have positioned themselves everywhere.
Everywhere.
They have positioned themselves everywhere. Imagine the kingpin of a terrorist being the assistant to president or to Tinubu. Tinubu himself being a Muslim, and then Gumi's son being, they have positioned themselves
Before you know
everywhere.
it, you become chief of army staff. Before you know it, they make Gumi's son chief of army staff.
Yeah. Of course. What do you expect? Even the person that is the chief staff, it happens to be a Fulani person too.
Yes.
So tell me how in this life, except if God use people like Trump or people with conscience that are watching and intervene in this case of Nnamdi Kanu, they are waiting to devour him. This Muslim people that has positioned themselves every sensitive places, and the so-called confessions and all these truths coming out, they are going to their table. They are not seeing it. They have made their eyes left, eyes right. They don't want to hear. They don't want to see. They don't want to. All they are waiting for is to destroy Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing else, nothing more. So the only thing, even every blessed morning, I say to God, are you truly God? Are you sitting down there waiting? because these animals, these evil people position themselves. They are carnivores. They are carnivorous animals that are waiting to devour an innocent man that did them nothing. So what are we going to do? Sitting down talking about it, no matter how much we present the truth and present it from now till thy kingdom come, it will make no sense, because Nnamdi Kanu is surrounded by evil people, is surrounded by demons who are bent to have his blood sucked.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We have people like me who have cried every blessed day. I'm walking on the street, I'm crying. I'm at home, I'm crying. And when I listen to Nnamdi Kanu being frustrated, my heart even go like I have to, like you faint. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do than to call on Trump? I said to our DPM, you live in America, you're a woman, you definitely they will listen to you. If they don't listen to Nnamdi Kanu, if they pretend they don't hear him, because Britain will never let America to help us concerning this Biafra thing.
Yeah.
Britain will never ever allow USA to intervene concerning Nnamdi Kanu's case. So what are we going to do? Do we allow these people to kill our genius? Nnamdi Kanu is our eyes. Even if it's not our eyes, it's not supposed to die, because he is surrounded by vultures who want to turn the law upside down just to kill him. It's so pathetic. Is it Shetima that will allow Tinubu to set Nnamdi Kanu free? Is it honestly, is it? I don't know. I'm so broken. Please, what we have to do is to gather together. Let everybody keep writing Donald Trump. This you can imagine a British citizen being tormented for almost 5 years, and these people kept quiet, which means they have signed his death warrant and give to Nigeria. Do with him as he pleases you. They have signed death warrant against the innocent man who did nothing. How much will we wait?
Kind of confirmed that in his last court. He confirmed it. He said, if Britain tell you to jail me, you think you can jail me? He confirmed it in the last court. He said it himself.
God, this is not happening. This is not happening.
They won't succeed. That is why we are calling for our people, in the United States, more especially, to move.
This is not happening. What if these people? I don't know. Honestly, I can't. Now it's like.
Then don't fail. Look, don't worry yourself. Because as we speak now, as we speak.
After this man from the vultures, this is the lion's den.
He will come out. I have a very strong heart that he's going to come. I don't have any doubt.
100%.
I don't have any doubt. Amen. I don't have any doubt. They can do anything.
Shame on Nigeria, disgraced country. Shame on them for all the atrocities they are committing against the truth. Nnamdi Kanu stand as truth, light, and they refuse to. May the Almighty God consume all of them, destroy all of them that has refused to listen to the cry of the innocent, just because of gas and oil, just because they want to make us to dry. You've been making a particular people for over 100 years. Why can't you let them be? Why must we be killed every day, every blessed time? And every country, the whole world is paying no attention to our cry. Oh God, please arise, oh Lord, and show Tinubu and his government that there is God that is in. May God use Trump. Trump, please, may God bless you wherever you are. Come and rescue Biafrans. We are struggling, we are suffering. We have died enough in millions. Please, Trump, I'm begging you, come. People like us can't eat anymore. We cry and cry, waiting for God to intervene. because these people are meant to kill everybody. So Nnamdi Kanu is not, they don't want to give him any fair trial at all. So please, God, I beg you, come and intervene. Please, I beg you, Lord, please. Please, God, come and help. Help us, please, Lord, please.
It's okay, my sister. It's okay, my sister. Hold yourself. Don't cry. God is going to bring him out. The God that gave him that assignment will definitely fight our cause for us. I think that is our beloved sister, Stella. That is our beloved sister, Stella, speaking. So no matter what happens, we should hold ourselves. Hold yourself. I know how painful it is. That is why only somebody who doesn't have conscience will see the situation of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu and you will not feel it. That is why some of us, when we talk the way we talk certain times, it will seem as if somebody is angry or maybe you are attacking somebody. No. The pain that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is going through is so much. And that is why we are asking. More especially our brothers and sisters in the United States. Everybody should move. Move. Do more. Move. We are not saying that you have not done anything. Every one of us have done one thing or the other, but we have to increase that force. You see the way MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is fighting in the court. This very motion he passed now to stop the court judgment, it is a voice that he gave to us. What he simply said is that we should not allow this judgment to go on. What are we going to do? We cannot go to the court there and talk about it, but we have people who can speak. You saw only a tweet of Donald Trump is shaking everywhere. The United States have a voice on the planet Earth. That is why every time we talk at people who are in the United States, go and meet your lawmakers. Move forward. Every single organization over there that cares about humanity, more especially Biafran groups, go and move. Don't wait for anybody. Individually, there are things we can do. Begin to press those buttons. Give life to this very statement that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, this very motion that he passed. Give it life. And we are even lucky that now the satellite of the world is focused on Nigeria. The satellite is focused on Nigeria. So it's a very big advantage for us. I pray that God will help us to succeed on this very mission. As for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, we are feeling the pain that he's feeling. We feel his situation. But as for the life of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, nobody will touch his life. Nobody will touch the life of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody should calm down. Continue to pray on your own side. Any way you can pray. See how our beloved sister is crying. That is how so many people are crying. The very first time MAZI Nnamdi Kanu arrested, you know how many people that fainted? You know how many people that got heart attack on that? That is the kind of love MAZI Nnamdi Kanu gets from Biafran people. When we talk about the issue of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, it is not just somebody you see out there. He's a father to many of us, a brother to so many of us, a mentor to so many of us, a spiritual leader to so many of us, a leader. So whenever we speak about the issue of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, we are not just saying it because we love to, or because we want to entertain you, or because we want to get a crowd. These are facts. And MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, every single thing he did it based on facts and figures. That is why today you cannot bring out any brokers of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to convict him with it. It doesn't happen. There's no one. For the past, the case of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is almost 10 years now. From 2015 to this day. From 2015 to this day, they have not yet found anything to convict him. Only to come now to begin to rush, not allowing him to express himself, not attending to his motion. You just jump into 20 years, you're going to pass judgment. From that illegality alone, you know what is going to be the outcome of the judgment. Without being told, when you see the illegality that followed the court, you will understand what they are going to say on that 20th. But I thank Chukwu Okike that the international observers are paying attention and they're watching. And this will not be like any other thing they have done in the past. It will never be business as usual. We are going to fight this battle until the last man standing. And the battle is the battle that we must win, no matter how they try. Every one of us, every Biafran should continue to pray for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, and also pray for MAZI Simon Ekpa. MAZI Simon Ekpa is still battling. The same battle is what MAZI Simon Ekpa is facing on international ground. And in the case of MAZI Simon Ekpa, we know that at least there is there can be a little way to challenge the justice system on that side. In the case of Nigeria, when you are dealing with a black man with black hair, in Nigeria, fantastically corrupt and groomed by British, it is much more a difficult issue. But we must continue to pray for our leaders. Pray for them the best way you can. With any opportunity you have, continue to pray for them. We believe that very soon they will join us and we will have a cause to rejoice. It's so sad. Each time we talk about the issues of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, the world might not know. You see my beloved sister crying. Crying. That is how many people are crying when they watch our programs. That's how many people share tears, even when they don't come online. I know many people like that who have stopped coming online because of the emotional trauma. It is sad. My beloved brother Christian, I think we're going to round up the program. Please go ahead and give your submission and your closing remarks so we can round up the program.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
As I want to close the program, just give us your submission and closing remarks so that we can round up the program.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so thank you. I just want to first of all thank you for your effort, and we continue to do continue to push on. I believe that just like this, our sister now, everybody just have to be strong, because that is the word of Nnamdi Kanu. He is the one telling everybody, be strong, be strong. He told that to Shore, and he told that, and this guy, this Atiku guy also said the same thing. So he's a very strong person, and God is on the throne, very much on the throne. He sent him on this mission, and he will never leave him alone. He will always be with him. This me now speaking that I see the result all over the place. Yes. Yeah, it's never an easy thing. Even when God is there, you always see that the enemy doesn't give up. But at the end, the enemy will crumble. Nigeria will crumble. Nigeria will crumble, and nobody will want to remember that evil entity again. And Nnamdi Kanu will be victorious. Biafra will be victorious. Thank you so much, my brother. And we'll be together. I will be here again because at the moment I'm a little bit busy. But thank you, bro. Keep on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Maybe in the evening, then we can meet back in the evening.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother, and every guest that have joined us. Our beloved sister Stella been there. Thank you so much, my beloved sister. Hold your heart and be strong. Nothing is going to happen to our leader. He's going to join us. And every other person that is feeling the same way, every one of us Biafrans, we are having that pain in our heart. Everybody needs to be strong, continue to pray and stand strong. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu will join us. Our Prime Minister MAZI Simon Ekpa will join us. And all this will be over very soon. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to be with us and continue to direct us, teach us, and guide us in all our paths. We must not give up. We must not give up. As we head towards November 20th, the question is not just whether the court will listen or not. The question is, will Nigeria redeem its conscience before the world condemns it? That is the question that needs to be asked. As we head towards November 20th, as they said in their own court, the question is not just whether the court will listen to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu and stop their nonsense. The question is, will Nigeria redeem its conscience before the world condemns it? MAZI Nnamdi Kanu has once again shown what leadership means. Our supreme leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, have shown what leadership means. Courage, principle, unwavering faith in justice. Let us rise with MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Let us speak louder than ever. Let us remain unshaken, because Biafra is not just an idea. It is a divine mission. It is a divine mission. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect us. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and secure every one of us Biafrans, home and abroad. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our leaders and secure them. More especially our Supreme Leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, and our Prime Minister, MAZI Simon Ekpa. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafran shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program. Join me again in the evening, 5:30 Biafran time. 5:30 p.m. Biafran time. If you are free, join us. We spend only 1 hour, so you have to join on time. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. Click your notification bell so that you can be able to get notification once we come. We spend only 1 hour towards the evening program. So try and join us 5:30 Biafran time in the evening. Stay blessed, and may Chukwu Okike Abiama protect every one of us. Goodbye, everybody.
Return.